Yo, what's going on? I know you're not used to us being on time or anywhere close to it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm turning over a new leaf, man. This is my New Year's resolution. And on month 3, I started to get it right. Let's get into the show. You know what it is, man. When I hear that music, that victory music, the theme song, I get super excited. I don't know about you, but I get super excited, super thrilled. Y'all know I made all them tracks myself, man. That's me playing all the instruments, guitars, all that shit. We got the thinking about dropping the Midlife Crisis mixtape later this year, man. Y'all let me know. Leave a comment if you think I should do it. The Midlife Crisis. My rap name gonna be Oral B. You know what I'm saying? In your mouth twice a day, you heard? All right, listen, we got a lot to learn. We got a lot to go over today. This is all about building your money muscle mindset. I got a guest. I'm going to introduce him in a minute. We're going to get right to it. But first, got to have a little word from our sponsors. First of all, we got the newsletter, Big Money Methods. You know what it is. This newsletter, when you sign up for it twice a week, you're going to get email full of articles that include methods to get big money. It's in the name. It's right there, right? You see, written by me and the homies. You know, you definitely want to sign up right now. Stop what you're doing. Sign up right now. It's all good. It'll open in another window. You don't even have to leave here. Sign up right now. We got a lot of members. It's going crazy. All right. Then we got, obviously, dot repellent. Easy to apply spray to keep the hoes away. Yeah, man. These hoes, once you start balling, shot calling, what are they going to do, man? These hoes are going to try to ruin your life, man. They'll be getting pregnant on purpose. Motherfuckers is fishing condoms out the toilet to inseminate themselves. You don't want that to happen. Now you got to raise some hoes kids. You know what I'm saying? For 18 years. And she got your money. You don't want that. That's why we put together this product. It's really coming out. Nima, they think it's a joke.
It's not. It used to be.
It was a joke until it's not. Until it's not, you know. That's why Nima immigrated here. He was an Iranian scientist. And, you know, he was working on...
I went to school for this.
You went to school for this, right? But then the government, when it called him, said, hey, you need to work on this bomb. He said, I don't want to do that. And then he came here and started following his passion. Listen, when you follow your passion, you never have to work a day in your life. And that's what Neem's doing, bringing dot repellent to the masses. All right. All your super chats go towards research and development for dot repellent. We got to get this to the market. We're looking to have it out by Q2 second quarter, sometime in the second quarter. Now just be careful when you get this. See, the way it's engineered, right? It only affects the DNA of dots, skeezers, hoes, slut hoes, tramps, Jezebels, skanks. So regular women, good wholesome women, they won't be affected. Now, some of you guys are going to be wearing this shit, spraying yourself, then you go to your family reunion, goddamn bitches falling out over there, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's how you found out, man. But it's a small price to pay. The death of your family members is a small price to pay to keep you safe from these thoughts, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, guys, for your super chats will go towards helping keeping the ballers safe, all right, from these hoes. And you're going to need it too once you join the Victory Unit Discord. right? Because in the Discord, we got free, bro. We got tons of free fucking courses, free advice, and I'm in there giving advice daily. Every once in a while, every few times a month, I go live in there asking you questions and shit. And when you're in the Victory Unit Discord, you get so much knowledge, so much game to build your money, muscle, and mindset. Man, these hoes gonna be all over you, man. This hoes gonna be all over you. You got to stay safe. You got to stay safe. All right. Now, guys, let's get into the show. Today's guest, friend of the show, true baller. I mean, this motherfucker is balling. This motherfucker balled 4 or 5. I lost count, man. 4 or 5 Rolls Royces at one time. Got them all delivered. We did a YouTube video on it. It was crazy. He listen. He might be my richest friend, and I know Ty Lopez. I got Ty Lopez's phone number. This motherfucker might be my richest friend. We want to help y'all ball. We doing a free training next week on how he got money, Section 8 real estate. And if you guys want to learn how to ball with him, you should hit the link, first link in the description, so you can join us. You need to join us right now. But let me introduce the big homie, Tom Cruise.
Hey, how's it going, man?
What's up, man? What's going on, man? Hey, man, we love to have you. Tom, you really rich, bro.
I tried,
really
man.
Rich. So you make, you've done well for yourself.
Thanks, man.
You make $1 million a month from your real estate
Correct.
investment.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. So that came over the last 7 or 8 years of buying properties, renting them out to people of poverty.
Yeah, man. Listen, man, you're doing God's work, man.
I try to.
Poor people need homes too.
Everyone needs homes.
Everyone needs a place to live, shelter.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Tom just helped me buy my first real estate property, man.
Congratulations.
You know what I'm saying? Buying back the block. We're gonna go into it, how it looks, and we're gonna tell you guys how to do it too. But yeah, you know, we about to get a motherfucking broke motherfucker in there immediately. You know,
Judiciously,
yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? So he can pay the mortgage. You know what I'm saying? And I can take everything on top of that. No, he's not even paying it.
The government's
too
paying.
broke.
Yeah, he's too broke.
He's
to pay.
too broke. He can't.
So he'll pay probably between $30 and $40 per month. That's gonna be his portion. The government's, depending on his financial situation, you'll probably get between $1,300 and $1,400 per month from the government.
Man, that's a beautiful thing, man. Shout out to Uncle Sam.
Shout out to all the listeners that are taxpayers.
Yeah, man. Yo, you pay taxes, you gonna help us get some money, man. Nah, but I'm just starting because I saw you balling. I was like, I got to learn.
There you go.
Get this, man. So I want to talk about balling this shit, you know, and I want to talk about Section 8.
Got it.
As well. But before you even get into that, man, I kind of I kind of want to get into how old are you?
I'm 35.
35. Oh
Yeah.
man, you young man. I'd kill everybody watching to be 35 again. But what's it like being? I know you're in a relationship now. Right?
Yeah.
But you were single, making $1 million a month. For a long time.
So I was single for almost 8 months when I got to Miami.
Right.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers don't know what it's like. What's it like being rich as fuck in Miami?
I mean, you have
as
a
far
lot
as
of
women and single.
Yeah, you have a lot of options. Obviously, I was on Raya and Hinge. And
What's Raya?
It's just a dating app for like higher net worth. I mean, they really have a lot of different people on.
Is that like seeking arrangements or?
It's not seeking arrangements. It's like Hinge for rich people.
Okay.
But they have like, you see athletes and different people on there.
Really?
Yeah, and they're just more selective of who they allow to be on there.
Really?
Yeah. So
was it?
Yeah. So I mean, for the most part, dating, you're gonna have a lot more matches, right?
Yeah,
you know, I'm obviously going to be hitting a lot more stuff out of my league that you typically would if you weren't doing $1 million per month. Yeah. And for me, it was all about filtering, right? I mean, the first 6 to 8 months that I was here was just about having fun, having a good time, meeting a bunch of different people. Yeah. And I definitely did that, through those different apps, and it was fun. We hosted parties on my yacht. I had a penthouse when I first moved here because I was renting when I first moved here before I bought my house. So we threw a bunch of events there. So it was a good time.
Hold on, man. Now you told me this one story. I didn't know this exists.
Yeah.
It's a shit called Tabler.
Tabler, yeah. It's an app that you can. It's designed like if you're going to a club with friends, you can post the table, on this app and have girls apply to come sit at the table.
Apply to come hang out with you.
Exactly. So then they like send you their Instagram. They send you their profile. And then if they're hot enough, or if you like them, you just accept it. And then you tell them the table and the time and they show up. But we didn't do it with a table. We did it for my yacht. So we had,
okay. So you didn't do it. You weren't going to the club.
No.
You were
Because I mean,
going
there's
to
already
the
girls
club.
at the club. I think it's
Yeah.
a stupid idea for that.
Yeah.
But to have them on your yacht, it's like a whole different story. 'Cause then you don't have to do any work whatsoever. You just post the app. We did it for 4th of July. We did it for a couple other like big holidays
There's
as well.
super hot girls showing up on your yacht.
Oh yeah. And then they bring friends. It became too much. And the marina shut us down because we had too many people showed up.
What's it like when a bunch of fucking hot Instagram models show up on your yacht? What's that experience like?
Well, first of all, it's not all hot Instagram models, right? So
Okay.
you'll approve like the hot one, and
Ah.
then they play the game of bringing, oh, I'm only coming if my friends come. And then you have, additional filtering at the door.
Mm.
And that got pretty awkward.
Yeah, you
for
have to
the,
send some,
for my
you
friend
have to
that had
send
to
the
do that.
creatures back. You know what I'm saying?
So we tried to avoid that as much as possible. But once we got on the boat, I mean, it's a lot of fun. We had a DJ, we had a chef on board. So we had, I think at the max, like 25 or 30 girls on board. And it was just me and 4 of my friends.
you and four
Yeah,
dudes
it was
and
4 versus 30.
25 hot Instagram girls.
Yeah, for the most part.
All right. So
And some of their not so hot friends. But
yeah,
yeah,
some people are saying that, but they,
it's part of the game.
it happens.
Yeah.
It happens. Listen, hold up. I just want you guys to understand what he just said. So like you guys will be like, oh, how do I get girls? Or you're watching videos on how to get girls or how to be more attractive. What if you just got rich? What if you just got rich and they came to you, applied to come to you? I imagine
that's
that
part
makes
of it.
things easier.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, if
Mhm.
you're looking for the one, then it's just a lot more filtering, right?
gotta
And at the
filter
time,
it.
I wasn't looking for the one.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
not
we
looking for
both
the
had whatever we wanted out of the relationship, if you want to call it that, right? So, and we both kind of got what we want out of it, and it works out really well. If you're looking for an actual real relationship with long-term prospects, then it takes a lot more time and effort, and
How do you
back and
filter
forth.
out? This is somebody's thinking. How do you filter out the gold diggers?
That's a great question. I've never had any girlfriends that made more than like $100,000 per year, right?
Mhm.
So socioeconomic benchmarks is not something I look for in a girlfriend. My main thing is, are they motivated? Are they already do they already have their own career goals? Is that something they're looking for? I don't want to see a Cash App in their bio, OnlyFans link in their bio.
No,
all the obvious things. If they're in 4 different, Maldives, Bora Bora, and Australia all in the same quarter. It's just like, oh, okay.
She's going to Dubai by herself.
There you go.
We already know what that is.
We already know what's going on.
We
So
already know
anyways,
what that-
just the obvious things that I typically, avoid. And it's not that difficult. All you have to ask them, hey, like, what do you do? Oh, I've been working this. Like, hey, I'm applying to do this and this. Like,
Yeah.
I've, dated girls that were pre-med, that were,
Mhm.
doing things, that were graduating and going into medicine, or I've dated attorneys. So
Yeah.
for me, it's all about them being passionate about something and not needing,
Yeah, exactly.
'Cause if they already have their own thing going on, the probability of them, golding is a lot lower.
Yeah, I mean, now every girl appreciates a guy with resources. I mean,
yeah.
you'd have to be a dummy not to, right?
Yeah.
Any mammal, right? Like your
There you
dog,
go.
if you don't feed your dog and give him shelter, it's gonna leave.
Exactly.
But okay. But what if she says she's a real estate agent?
Real estate agent?
Yeah, that don't filter out because in my experience, a lot of these girls say they're real estate agents.
I think every girl in Miami is a real estate agent on some level, right? They all licensed real estate agents. I haven't run into that, but
in my
I
experience,
don't know.
they
It depends if they're like
escorts.
producing and actually like,
Yeah.
'cause that's all public data, so we know if they're actually producing. But
Yeah, in my experience, they escorts and they just saying that shit so they can say that that's how they live their lifestyle, but they usually escorts.
yeah,
That's what I mean.
mean.
Yeah,
That's
you ain't
pretty-
want to say it. I'll say it. You know
That's-
what I'm saying?
I haven't really run into that directly. For the most part, gold diggers are just not good at gold digging. Like
Not, right?
they'll ask you for stuff like on the first day. I've had a girl ask me to pay her rent by the end of the first date.
Excuse me?
Yeah, straight up.
Really?
Like, yeah, we made out and then she went back home and it was the 28th or 29th of the month. And she texted me literally afterwards. Oh, I think I might actually have the text. I'm about to show you. And she was like, hey, I forgot, like, me and my boyfriend broke up like a month ago. He normally took care of the rent.
Oh.
And just seeing if you could handle that. And I was like, I met you 3 hours ago. I'm not gonna pay you. And it was like the $3,500 rent in Miami. I was like, I'm not paying that.
Out of here.
Oh yeah. And they're just not good at gold digging.
That's crazy. Hold on, man. Somebody said that. I see a comment. Somebody saying that this video's pre-recorded. Hey, first of all, go fuck yourself, man. I ain't never lied to your bitch ass. You a fucking hoe. It is exactly 7:19 Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I ain't never lied to you. You was fucking me up about people thinking I'm lying to them is because they think I value their opinion. I wipe my ass with what you think, motherfucker. I don't do shit to impress you. We doing this to help you, man. All I want to hear from you, motherfuckers, is please and thank you. All right. I digress.
There you go.
Yeah, they're not good at gold digging, man.
No.
So she asked you for that right after the
Right after first date. Yeah.
Wow.
And I've had girls where like there was one girl that I took on a first date and she was Brazilian. So I was like, and I'm Brazilian. So I was like, let's go to this Brazilian steakhouse. It was in South Beach. It was like it's like one of those, they bring the meats and steaks.
That's my shit.
I love that.
Shit. Yeah.
And I sent her, and she's like, can you send me the link to it? So I sent her the link to the restaurant and she was like, I don't have any attire for that restaurant. And I was like, what does that mean?
Yeah, what's that mean?
She was like, just try something a little bit fancier. And I was like, okay, I got that was like probably my second or third date in Miami. I was like, I got you. I see how Miami is now.
Yeah.
They don't even care. They'll just flat out tell you, like, that's not expensive enough. Like, and she sent me some alternates. She was like, how about poppies or carbone? I was like,
Poppy's on the first date.
Hey,
That's crazy.
she just wasn't of the caliber to demand that. Let's just say that.
Yeah. So what how'd you respond?
I just ghosted her.
You just go, yeah, that's a smart move.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tom, man. Shout out to Tom. You're good at making decisions. How you got to make so
There you
much
go.
money, man. So
And you got to be careful because it's brutal out there. They'll ask, like, what car are you going to bring? I've had
Really?
that. Oh, yeah. Hey, can you bring the Ferrari? I was
uh,
like, I've never been in a Ferrari before. I was like, okay.
so you don't go out on them at all if they say that.
In that instance, I did because she was super.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get it, man. I get it.
Yeah. I really don't care because I probably would have driven it anyways, you know. At the time,
No, I feel that. What's the craziest story you have from about when you single multimillionaire in Miami? Because these guys need to know what it's like, man. They about to get some money soon. You know what I'm saying? And we haven't developed thought repelling yet. To keep the hose on.
Man, probably one of the first nights that we were here, we went to Live, and I got Live confused with 11 because I had just gotten here. I didn't really know. I thought we were going to a strip club.
Yeah.
So I brought like $25,000 in ones. I'd actually ordered the cash from the local Wells Fargo, and I brought it in a Louis bag to go to, thinking that we were going to throw ones. Well, we get there, and they did security, and they're like, why do you have so much cash? I was like, at that point is when I realized that we were not at a strip club.
Yeah.
So he let me bring it in anyways. So we still threw it off the balcony. We have footage of that on my Instagram. It's actually pretty funny. And people were just so confused. Who was, I think it was Waka Flocka was performing that night or something. So, he was
threw
throwing
25 grand.
We threw $25,000 in ones down below because we were on the skybox in the second level, and we're just making it rain the entire night. It was a lot of fun, but there was no strippers there.
There's no strippers. You go to Live. You do go to 11 sometimes, right?
I do like 11. Yeah. 11's fun. I prefer Gold Rush though.
Go right. Where's that?
It's over like closer to northern Miami, like further
I've
Biscayne.
never been to Go Rush.
Yeah.
I've only been to 11. All right.
It's just a lot more low key, and I think there's just like better girls there.
Really?
Yeah.
Gold
Rush. There you go. I've been to like 2 different bachelor parties there. It's like the go-to.
That's the one, huh?
If you want like a real strip club. I mean, 11's nice, but it's just always so crowded.
And it's more like a club.
It's definitely more of a club than an actual strip club.
Yeah. Last time I was there, I was with some employees, and it was a few years ago, and we had my girl was with me. We had a table, you know what I'm saying? But it was more like a club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have like one main dancing area. It's cool. It's fun, but
fun.
it's
you got to, if you're in Miami, it's a place to go.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, cool. Listen, let's talk about getting money.
All right.
Let's talk about getting money.
That's my favorite thing to talk about.
Because this, it's one thing to talk about the fruits of your labor, but how do we get it? So listen, Tom, you make all your money Section 8 real estate.
Correct.
I remember you were saying that one of your first motivations was to buy your first Lambo.
Yeah, I've always wanted a Lamborghini. It's always been a poster in my room, from the Murcielago to the Gallardo to the Huracan.
All right. So can we break down the math of how to get a Lambo and how you went about doing it?
Yeah. So as we mentioned before, my first Lamborghini was a Huracan Spider. It was not the Evo. It's the first generation of the Huracan, the V10. It was white with the orange interior. I spent, I think, around $270,000 on it.
All right, so let's do this math.
There you go. That was the purchase price, $270,000.
$270,000.
Correct.
For Lambo.
Never forget, I used the credit union to finance that hoe.
10%.
10% down, scrape by. So I put around $27,000, $30,000 on the down payment.
All right, hold on. Let's get to 27K down payment.
Correct. And I think it was like at the time 5.5. I think it was 5.5% interest.
All right. So and then you figured out the math of how many
rental properties I was going to need. Yeah. So, I mean, I already had like, decent cars up until then, right? I had BMWs and 911s and stuff, but I never really went fully exotic until Lamborghini.
Yeah.
So,
so before we even get this,
yeah,
right, what would the monthly payments be?
I think the monthly payment on that was around $4,000 per month.
That's it.
Yeah. There you go. And I got lucky because North Carolina has low sales tax. I think it's like 3% sales tax there.
So basically, after you put down the 25K, you was like, all right, now I just need $4K a month.
That's it
to cover it. So you said, all right, cool. I'm about to put some
and insurance and property taxes were pretty cheap, so I really didn't worry about that. But
so you just said, hey, I got to put some.
That was my goal. That's just kind of the number that I worked backwards from, right? Because I knew that I wanted a Lamborghini. I was always like, that's the car that I can say that I've made it when I finally get one, right?
Yeah.
And that was my target. So basically from there, I was like, okay, well, how many properties do I need in order to get $4,000 per month?
Yeah.
Comfortably. So I realized that it's, I'm probably making about $400 a month per property. So obviously I need about 10 to 11 properties in order to kind of hit that Lamborghini target.
Hold on. You said you were making how much per property?
$400 net. That's after management, taxes, insurance. After everyone was paid, I was walking with around $400 minimum per property.
$400
per month. Net. Yeah.
My handwriting sucks.
It's all right.
Per property.
There you go.
All right, bet. So you figured that out. So
Correct.
so you needed 10 properties.
10 properties to hit that goal conservatively. Yeah.
All right. 10 properties, man. So what was the game plan? How many properties did you have at the time?
At the time, I was probably at right around 10 or 11 units.
Oh, you already had 10.
But I still had to live, right? So I had at the time I had I had a property at the time, so I was paying for my mortgage. I had a primary residence. I had insurance. I had to eat. Like I was self-sustaining. So I wanted to get 10 more properties.
Yeah.
Right.
And the reason this smart, right? Because some people, dummies, they'll just buy like luxury items, like especially a car, it's a depreciating asset, a depreciated asset. And if you spend your earned income on that, it's stupid, right? But if you spend your passive income on that,
to be able to do it,
then it's like.
And I would even argue right now that was still kind of soon, right? I should have probably been at 25 or 30 units, but I really wanted it. That's something that I want. I mean, I was 27 at the time, 28 at the time. Yeah. It's something I'd been wanting my entire life. So I kind of just like pushed it. Obviously, I don't recommend you only putting 10% down on a car right now.
Yeah.
Minimum 25, 30%. But anyways, that's what I did. It was when I got it, it was super motivating. A, I had to make a $4,000 a month payment. And B, I was like, okay, it opened doors. I would go to Cars and Coffee events. I'll go to real estate investor meetups. It's like, boom, for better or for worse, people take you more seriously with your nice car. There's no other way around it.
You know what? One of my favorite books is Influence by Robert Cialdini.
Okay.
And he talks about how influential cars are, especially on Americans for whatever reason. Like cars are just the ultimate status symbol for Americans.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was a big door opener. I mean, I was able to meet other partners that I eventually partnered with and got into real estate that I met, at these Cars and Coffees, or I went to a lot of rallies. So I would meet different higher net worth individuals there. And then we had conversations just like this. Hey, man, like I just got my first 10 properties. I'm trying to get in there 15 or 20.
Yeah.
Can we do a deal? You bring $100,000, put it down. I'll manage the properties, and then we'll, split the equity. I was able to do 3 or 4 deals just like that.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So can we break down how you got these 10 properties? Because that was the goal.
Yeah. So a lot of that, I was still wholesaling properties at the time. I wholesale properties for a while. So if you guys aren't familiar with wholesaling, it's basically when you find properties that have some level of distress, either the roof needs to be redone or it's just the house is just not ready for occupancy. It needs something needs to be done to it. So let's say the property was listed for $70,000 round numbers. And what I would do is I would go find those properties. I would usually do driving for dollars. I would literally get in my car and drive around these like older neighborhoods and find properties that were kind of beat.
Really?
That was kind of my goal. I would write down the address, and then I would reach out to the homeowner and say, hey, are you interested in, this house is probably worth 70 grand. I'll offer you, let's say $62,000 on the property. I wouldn't really lowball them. My whole thing was volume. I wanted to get as many deals done per month as possible.
With the wholesaling.
With wholesaling.
So you can just
I'd put the property in a contract for $62,000, and then I come to you, Brandon, and I'd say, hey, I see that you're a house flipper. I'll assign this deal over to you for $64,000. So then I keep the $2,000 difference for basically finding the deal for you.
Is that what we did with the property that you found for me? Like we got it from a wholesaler.
We got it from a wholesaler.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So
so to put in perspective, I just got my first Section 8 property, and we called up a wholesaler.
Exactly.
And he had
properties already available,
and I just paid him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's exactly how that works.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would do. So I would do that 2 or 3 times per month was my target. You know, making $4,000 to $6,000, because then I was able to take that $4,000 or $6,000 and then start buying rental properties with that as a down payment.
How'd you buy rental properties for $4,000 to $6,000? I think that's what.
Yeah. So I wasn't using banks at first. I was doing seller financing. So let's say that you're an investor and you have properties, or you're an individual homeowner and you couldn't get rid of your property for whatever reason. You just, been sitting on it for a while. I would say, hey, look, Brandon, I'm interested in making monthly payments directly to you. Obviously, you have to offer a more attractive interest rate. At the time, interest rates were 4%. So if I offered you 8% on that loan, you're not getting 8% on any of the other investments, more than likely. So you're a lot more likely to accept that seller finance deal. Say, oh, hey man, I'll give you $4,000 down, 8%, and we can, pay this off in X amount of time. We work out some maturity time on that. And then obviously I'd have to make, 10, 15, 20 of these offers to get one person to accept.
Right. And then most people will say no.
Right. That's where the hustle comes in.
It's a numbers game.
Yeah, that's a numbers game. So I would write letters. I would have, VAs and emails. I mean, I would get lists of absentee landlords that you can get from different sources online. And I would just find homeowners that were interested in seller financing me deals. I'd buy the property for a low down payment. I found the arbitrage opportunity because Section 8 was paying so much higher than market rent. So if I could buy a property for $70,000, and let's say I put $5,000 down and I finance it for $65,000, right? The monthly payment on it's going to be like $400 or $500 per month. Section 8's paying $1,300 on that 3-bedroom. So I have $800 per month in room to pay not only your monthly payment, but also taxes and insurance, which is super cheap on a $70,000 property.
Right.
So, and then I just put a property manager in place. They pay, I pay them 10% of the monthly rent. So that arbitrage opportunity of buying cheap houses but having super high rent, that's basically how I got so rich that fast, because I just bought so many of them.
So initially it was almost all seller finances.
It was mostly seller finance, but then I also got creative. So I used FHA loans, which is like first-time home buyer loans. The first unit that I actually bought was with a first-time home buyer. I lived in it for like 5 months. You're supposed to live in it for 12, but don't tell Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. And then I ended up renting it out, and then I bought another one, reinvested the income that I was doing from wholesaling, and just kept going that way.
Okay, so how long did it take you to go from? Because you had to hustle to get the money for the down payments, then you had to
buy the properties.
Right,
this is all
you had
happening.
to make all those you had to sell. You had to make all those deals. Not everybody. No, not even just the wholesale deals. You have to find people who are willing to do seller financing.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to get these 10 properties so you can get your Lambo?
So the first first 10 properties took me about, I would say, 12 to 14 months, right?
Okay.
So that was the first 10 units that I bought. But then the Lambo 10 properties was probably another 6 to 8 months.
Oh, because you had experience.
I already had experience. And the thing that most people don't realize, and as you kind of already know, is like when you start building momentum and you're in the field and you're working in the space, you start meeting so many people that everything just becomes easier. Inspectors, appraisers, agents, handymen, contractors, everybody in the field in that area. It's the same thing with like when you're marketing or fitness.
When I bought with the property I bought, the people they started sending me deals.
There you go.
The stuff they want to sell.
They already know you're a buyer.
And so did the wholesaler.
Yeah.
Right. So it becomes quicker if you got the bread.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
So even if you don't have the money, but you're able to at least buy one property and you can get into it and you say, hey, I'm looking for my second one. Now your agent's interested. The appraiser that's going to be doing it's going to be interested. Then you start forming relationships. Then you can get some numbers manipulated there. So things become a lot easier. And that's just where most people fail, is they don't even start. They don't even make the first offer.
You got to start.
Yeah.
And then you start building the momentum.
Then you get the momentum. Because then once you get the first 10 properties or first 5 properties, it'd been so much easier if I'd known you. Hey man,
back in the day.
I just bought my first 10 properties over the last year. I want to buy 50 more. The problem, if I could show you, financials and show you guaranteed rent rolls coming in from Section 8, it probably would have been no brainer if you're in a position to give me $100,000 and we split, portfolio. So
no, like 100%.
So the pitch is very easy. It's not like it's some super high risk startup. I'd be like, hey, Brandon, I'm buying real estate. Here are the properties. You want to go touch them? There, you touch the properties. Here's the income from federal government that's guaranteed every month. I can guarantee you a 15% return every year. Most people aren't going to turn down guaranteed 15%.
Yeah, it's better than the stock market.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? The average return
Secured by real estate. So if you didn't get your 15%, you could
You got the
always
real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn. I would have definitely made that deal.
There you go.
Listen, if somebody wants to get involved in this, we're doing a free training where you're gonna show them how.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a free masterclass Monday night, 8 p.m. is when we're
Mhm.
doing it, and we're gonna be going through how to find the best properties, how to finance them if you want to do seller financing, or if you have some money. I mean, some of your listeners might have 10, 15 grand.
Yeah.
They can use a bank. You know, that's a possibility as well. And then how to manage them. Most people just don't even know like how to start managing a property.
Yeah.
So we already have property management companies that we use that we can refer to you as well.
Yo, that's what's up, man. So the link is in the description. Make sure y'all sign up for that, man.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yo, that's really dope, man. What I want to get into. Oh, let's answer some of these super chats real quick first.
Of course. King Carbs. Chelsea to the moon. Thanks for the pickup over 10K buying call options on it. What do you think of-
Shout out to you, man. Yo, so Tom, so you don't know, man. I've been pumping this stock for mad long. It's Celsius. And then we told the homies, we told the squad. I'll bring it up on this chart. Hold on. What's the fucking? What is it? Oh, dyslexia. All right. Still wrong. Oh, there we go. So I was like, yo, homies, everybody at Victory Unit, when this shit gets to the 200-day moving average, we're gonna load up. We're gonna load up on this stock, man. And they didn't pay me. Celsius didn't pay me. I'll take the money if you motherfuckers are listening, but they didn't pay me. I just wanted to get the Victinators. Something I said when it gets to this 200-day moving average, we loading up. And if you would have did that, if you just bought stock, you'd have been up as of it was 80%. 80% right now, you'd be up 80%. It was higher than that before. It was almost 90%. 80% if you would have did what we said. My man did it with options. So he's up way more than that, you know. If you just bought the stock, you would have been way up. That's if you missed it, you missed out, man. You got to watch every Tuesday and Thursday. Stop what you're doing, man. Get a babysitter. You know what I'm saying? Quit your job, whatever you got to do to watch the Victory Talk on Tuesday and Thursday.
We also got JT Coring saying just keep the thoughts away.
He just wanted to contribute. He just wanted to contribute, man, to the cause. You're doing God's work, brother. You know what I'm saying? All right. I was wondering, Tom, you have some software that helps people find it. You mind going through it?
Yeah, it's fine. It's called Section 8 Pro. It's a platform that I use internally for a while to start looking for the best properties designed for Section 8.
You got to leave it on the screen for him because he can't see my laptop.
Right. There we go. So basically, it's going to show you all the best counties. First of all, every Section 8 is based on counties. So for example, this random one that I chose, you know, the average time that the property's been on the market, 117 days. Very important metric. There's 19 properties there, so it's not, you know, a huge populated area, but it just gives you a decent sense. Green is super profitable, red is not. And then obviously what we use to find your property along with a wholesaler is going to be the Deal Explorer. Here you can put in how much you want to pay for a property, let's say $75,000, and then the minimum cash flow that you want to make, because we don't want 250, we want a minimum of 500.
Minimum of 500.
So
cash flow. That's
cash flow. That's
profit.
Net. Yeah, it's profit. So then what we're going to do is going to show you all the best properties in the country based on crime, condition. It's also going to show you based on cash flow. So as you can see here, this rent here is $1,565 per month. And then the monthly cash flow here is over $900. This isn't assuming everything. This is taking out property management fees, property taxes,
put
insurance.
The camera on him.
There you go.
My fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
There you go.
No. I mean,
I don't think you do.
Oh, you can't do it. All right, then go back to what you was doing there. Sorry.
Yeah, so it takes out all the expenses and then tells you what the monthly cash flow is going to be. So this is going to be a big one as far as being able to determine the best properties. And then finally is also the property lookup. So crime, obviously, when you're doing Section 8, is going to be critical to make sure you're not buying any crazy war zones. So you can put any address in the country in here, and it's going to tell you exactly how much crime is going on there.
Mm.
So there's not much murder and not much violence overall. A lot of sexual assaults. So we want to make
They
sure.
need to stop that.
Yeah.
They should cut that out, man.
And we'll let them know, hey, look, there's a lot of raping going on here. So just make sure you know how to fight before you pull up. Yeah.
Make sure
we'll send the tenants the crime report.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times they'll ask if they have like kids or stuff. So we'll say, hey, as long as you're aware of this, don't let us don't let it happen.
Don't let it happen.
Or if it does, don't let us know about it, kind of deal.
If they try to do that to you, stop them.
Yeah. With a thought repellent.
Yeah, with a thought repellent, man. It'll work.
So anyways, yeah, so that's kind of the big piece of feature functionality that we use internally. And then, my students use this as well to buy properties. You can find portfolios.
It's wild at this address they only doing one. There's only one type of crime that seems to be in.
Oh yeah. This is randomly. This is in Arkansas, so who knows?
What? Listen, man, I don't know what y'all got going on in Arkansas, man.
And then it also tells you the rent here. So in this case, 3-bedroom in this at this address is paying $1,454 per month. So these are all things, and of course we have the course in here. I also have community. But yeah, this generally gives you a pretty decent idea. And also the most valuable part is the seller financing. So from here, you're able to click on seller financing and see all the properties in the country that offer, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 down payment.
That's super dope.
And there's a lot of them. I mean, right now I didn't do the seller financing one, but the regular Section 8 properties, 2,700 pages of properties that, are basically 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, and that are going to cash flow based on the criteria that we just set.
And then at a point, you just go out and get it. So if you're doing seller financing, what kind of down payments are you looking at?
Yeah, so on the minimum, you're not going to do $0 down, right? That's not realistic. I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, you can buy properties $0 down." It's possible, but it's not plausible, right?
It's not probable.
So you're going to get a much higher success rate with $3,000 to $5,000 down when you offer that.
Yeah.
Most homeowners, if you offer, $3,000 down, you might negotiate up to $4,000 or $5,000. Then you can negotiate on the interest rate, and then you can negotiate on the time frame.
Mm-hmm.
But these are kind of the main things that they're going to want to find out.
I put 2 down on my place.
There you go.
We just got lucky. You know,
sometimes you get a desperate seller, and that's what we like to see. And that's why time on market is super important.
Time on market.
Yeah, how long the property has been on the market. Because if it's been on the market for 120, 150 days, they're probably desperate to get rid of it.
Yeah, so then they'll be more willing.
Then they're more willing to do seller finance. That's why I was showing you that metric that we had in the software.
Got it. That's super dope. And you put that together. You built that software.
Yeah. So we built the software, like I said, internally for my team last year, and then I showed it randomly in a demo to one of my coaching classes that I had. I do a monthly Zoom call, and they're like, "How do we get access to this?" Yeah. It never dawned on me that other people would want to use it too. So we eventually started including that with the course bundle that we have. That's
super dope. I mean, imagine this makes it way easier. Otherwise, you got to go to all the listing sites, realtor.com and all this other shit to try to find it.
Yeah.
You had to search.
Yeah, because if you go on realtor.com or if you go on Zillow, you're still going to see the same properties. All those properties are from Zillow, right? Yeah. But what we do is we connect all the data from the HUD website. So you actually know how much Section 8 is going to pay. And then we grab all the crime data and then we pair that with all the individual listings. And then we also filter based on condition. So you're seeing the best properties in an area. And then we also grab all the property tax data, the insurance data, and then we just basically merge it all into one listing so you can see that.
And I remember we did this, like we let's say we wanted to fucking buy this one. I remember you open this shit.
Open the listing.
And then we just hit up the real estate agent.
Then you're right there. Yeah.
We hit up the agent. We was calling a bunch of agents and stuff. It was cool, man. It's exciting.
Yeah.
How when you're doing Section 8 real estate, how do you make sure you don't get some straight up criminals, dope fiends, dope dealers, pimps, hustlers?
Yeah, man. So I mean, the big thing that we do is screening. I'm really aggressive with screening. Choosing bad tenants is the number one way for your whole portfolio just to go downhill, right? So we're looking to make sure they haven't had any previous evictions. That's the number one thing.
Okay.
We're looking at credit score. Just because the government guarantees their income, it doesn't mean that the tenant quality is guaranteed. So we want to make sure that we have really good. You're not going to have 800 credit score Section 8 tenants.
No.
So we're looking at 625 or better.
Really?
Yeah. So we'll go as low as 625. And we're looking just to make sure there's no major delinquencies, right? So they don't have a repo or a bankruptcy or something crazy.
Like a late payment is not a big deal.
No.
Okay.
It's just if they do it every single month. If they don't pay their power bill dues, and they don't care about keeping the lights on, they're not going to care about keeping a roof over their head.
That's a fact.
So, and then we also check device type. We don't rent our properties to anybody with an Android.
Really?
Point blank. Starting summer of last year.
Okay. Tell me more about that.
So I mean, with 710 properties that I currently have, that's how many I currently have now. I mean, we've bought and sold probably over 850 properties over the last 8 or 9 years. So we went through all the eviction data that we've had, and we've almost evicted I think we've evicted 2 iPhone users in the almost decade that we've been doing. iPhone users don't get evicted. The reason why that we found, and it's all Android users, is that there's so many like Android, because everyone in the chat right now is gonna be like, I got it. I got a Samsung S24, blah blah blah. And I paid $1,500. It's more expensive than the iPhone.
He's got one of the good ones.
He's got one of the good ones, but what he's not accounting for is the 96% of the market is $29 prepaid Android shit boxes, right?
Yeah.
So we just found the correlation between that, and we just stopped renting to them.
Yeah, listen.
So
man.
Android users are just not in the portfolio.
Damn
anymore.
it! So it's fucked.
We're not evicting if you're already in there, but like we're just not gonna put you in there.
Motherfucker might have. Motherfucker might have the Note 50 or some
Doesn't
shit,
matter.
and he spent so much money, but it's like he just can't get in.
And the way we check that is we send them a text message with the application link. So if the shit goes green, you know real fast. There you go.
That is wild.
Yeah. So we haven't had any eviction issues. We find that iPhone users are more reasonable. So if there is ever an issue, they're not going to just ghost you. The probability of them working out cash for keys, where we literally just give them money for them to leave, is much higher. So our evictions have gone down significantly in the last 12 months.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So all right. So credit score,
eviction history,
and Android
type.
usage,
Device type. Yeah.
That is insane. You know what's funny, man? I remember when I was running ads for my fitness business.
Oh yeah, and you can differentiate between.
Yeah, you can.
iPhone.
When it was always more profitable when I picked a device type.
Yeah,
it was only Android.
Yep.
It was always more. It was always.
And they're way cheaper to acquire too. Android users.
Yeah, it was a weird metric, man. It was a weird metric. Damn. Even if you got one of them nice, I used to have an Android, man. And I had an Android and an iPhone. I don't live life of scarcity. I had both, but I really liked the Note for some shit.
Yeah, is it the one that like opens up?
No, it was the one. It had the pen, like some real dork shit. It had the pen in it.
I can see using the stylus.
Yeah, I like to draw shit, you know. But then the iPad Mini came out. I'm like, nah, I'm cool. You know, this is even better.
There you go.
All right. And then, so we got the crime data.
Yep.
Right. We got the make sure we get good tenants so we don't, or at least doing our best.
Yeah.
What other concerns that somebody might need to have that I don't even know about?
You would need to make sure you have good property managers taking care of those good tenants.
Yeah, because you're not doing anything. We're not.
No. We're not involved at all. So if you get a good property that's going to be compliant with Section 8, it's going to pass inspection, and then you get a good tenant, and then you get a good property manager, that's how you have a headache-free, experience. So with the property management team, we're looking at a lot of different factors. We're looking to see if they have previous Section 8 experience. We're looking to see, how long it's going to take them to occupy a unit.
They find the people too.
They find the tenants for you. Yeah, they do all the screening for you. That's a big part of what we've done. Is making sure that we have really good property management that we can set up. And that's why I don't bounce around to like 20 different states. I'm only in 4 different states and 6 different markets. Main reason being is once you set up a good property management team in one area, then you just want to, give them as many properties as they can handle.
Right. Because if you're one of their best customers,
they're going to give you priority. There you go.
So,
and that typically works out incredibly well. And then you also get economies of scale because then you're getting lower, rates on handymen, on contractors, on any labor. Yeah.
That's something I didn't even think about.
Yeah.
And again, you can do this anywhere in the country because none of your properties are here in Miami.
No, I don't have any in Miami, Florida. It's just too expensive here, right? So if you bought a property here for $200,000 and you have a $2,500 a month mortgage, well, the rents here might be $2,200, $2,100. So it's never going to really cash flow.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot harder. So we're buying in the Midwest, we're buying in the Southeast, we're buying in areas that are out of state that are going to work a lot more efficiently.
What are some good states?
Yeah, so we're going to be going right now. Like I started in North Carolina, right? We're going to go into a lot more detail on the training on Monday night.
Click that link.
Yeah, the link is down below. I think we should still have some spots available. I opened up more spots before I got on here.
That's what's up.
But we're going to go through the map and I'll show you guys on the training the areas that we buy in and how that works. But I started in North Carolina, Wilmington, North Carolina.
Yeah.
A lot of my holdings are there. That's where I still have majority of them. But then as Wilmington started growing, COVID hit. Then I started expanding outside.
Got it. That's what's up. Guys, make sure y'all register for that free training so you learn more about it, man. Like this has been This is my main thing. I'm trying to.
There you go.
I'm working on this year. After I met you,
Oh yeah.
I was like, I was like, fuck, man, this motherfucker balling. This motherfucker balling hard. And it was like, I never got into real
I
estate.
think it's the close. I mean, dude, I've done, paintball e-commerce. I used to have an e-commerce store where I did that. I had a software company where we did marketing software. And after I graduated college, I did wholesaling, and now I do rentals. And after trying all these different business strategies, I think this is as close to us of a perfect, strategy as you can get. It's funded by the federal government.
Yeah.
That's not going to run out of money anytime soon.
Yep.
It's a monthly recurring subscription.
Yeah.
It's a product and service that you literally, it's a basic human need, as a lot of people like to remind me that I'm not monetizing a basic human need. And the probability of you having issues if you choose the right people is very low.
Yeah.
Because I have 9 full-time property managers across 710 properties. There's no way they would be able to manage that if we weren't choosing good houses and good tenants.
And that's the beauty. You don't even manage it.
I don't even manage
Right.
it. I have one Zoom call Fridays. I'll have one tomorrow at 9 a.m. We get on a Zoom call. We go over everything because I do have to be involved in the event someone dies, if someone gets incarcerated, or if the house burns down, if there's an insurance claim.
Got it.
Those are the only 3 times I really have to get involved.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what we check out on Fridays to see if anybody died.
Anybody died? Any houses got burned down?
Those are really 2 ways people leave my house, either in a body bag or in handcuffs.
Because they stayed it.
They stayed there forever.
Forever, man.
Yeah, they build family units there. I mean, I own entire blocks, 12 houses wide.
Buy back the block.
Yeah. I own entire blocks in Wilmington, North Carolina, where, I'll rent to one person and they're like, hey, my grandmama wants to move on the corner. Is that house available? I'll rent to her. And then she brings her friends. They rent down there. So it turns into this like whole communal thing. And then nobody moves. Nobody's moving for college. No one's moving for jobs. No one's moving for any reason.
Because when you get on Section 8, man, like motherfuckers don't be eager.
They don't want to rock the boat. Yeah. They don't want to rock that boat.
They don't be eager to leave. Yo, that's amazing. Excuse me. Guys, make sure y'all register for that training. It's gonna be on Monday. Learn more about it, man. We'll talk about it. I'm gonna be there. Tom's gonna be there. And this is my main thing. So we just got my first unit and we're gonna get some more.
There we go.
We're gonna get some
Once you
more.
get the first one and we get that set up and you have your property management, you get your feet wet, it's a whole lot easier to go to 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
That's what I really stress. I mean, for most people that want to get started and they're just like overwhelmed and they don't know what they want to start doing, it's just about like research the market that you want to go into. If you don't know the market you want to go into, jump on Zillow, jump on Realtor.com, and then you start looking like, hey, I live in, I don't know, Indiana. Go look at properties under $100,000 in Indiana. And then get a really good sense of a certain zip code or a county. And then you'll start understanding what a good deal is. And once you understand what a good deal is, then from there you can start, okay, well, if this property is $70,000, I already spoke to the seller. They're willing to accept 10% down. That's $7,000. Okay, I might need to do 2 wholesale deals in order to get that 7,000 raised, right? So let me go out and wholesale 2 different properties that I learned on free courses or on YouTube or whatever on how to wholesale.
You have I
have a wholesaling course included with my Section 8 course.
It's like a bonus.
It's like a bonus, yeah. But if you don't want to pay for anything right now and you just want to try to figure it out for free, that's basically how I did it. Because the more you learn about an area, the more you kind of master. That's what I did. I was in Wilmington, North Carolina. I went to school there. Like that's all I knew, right? So I try to figure out what properties were selling for, what they were renting for, and that's kind of where I found out that arbitrage opportunity between, holy shit, Section 8 doesn't care what you pay for the property. I bought properties for literally $45,000 that were basically move-in ready. I mean, back in 2018, 2019, $40,000, $45,000 properties was not out of the norm. Now the norm is $60,000 to $65,000, right? But that would rent for $1,300 per month, because all Section 8 cares about is the bedroom count and the location. Those are the only 2 things.
Bedroom count?
How many bedrooms the property has.
And they pay
based on bedroom.
Got it.
So you want to get into a 3 or 4 bedroom. 2 bedrooms and 1 bedrooms are going to pay enough. Things like that is just like what you really need to understand. And that's kind of why we're going to do that free training to kind of help people guide on how to get started and how to buy your first property in 30 days.
Listen, let's go. You guys, let's do it. Let's buy back the block together. You see how I never led you astray. You see what happened with Celsius. My man made 10 bands, free game. I'm giving y'all some more free.
Oh, they're asking for my name. My name is Tom Cruise, guys, and it's CRUZ.
Yeah, it's actually in the description of this video. Right? You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Yo, let's switch gears for a second.
Sure.
You just bought the new crib.
I did.
It's 20 mil.
Yes, I did. I spent 20 million on it.
All right, I've always had this now you make $1 million a month
Correct.
passive. So
Correct.
maybe this is not applicable to you.
Right.
Right. Did you own real estate that you lived in before that?
I did. Yeah. So I used to live in Wilmington, North Carolina before I moved here.
Okay. You owned that place?
I did own that place.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. So this is something me and my boy Jeremy
Yeah.
Hayes. Yeah. Jeremy's super rich.
Yeah.
But we just every time we think about buying a crib to live in, what we start thinking is, okay, the crib we want is gonna be millions. Let's just say 10 million. Easy.
No, you're gonna say 15.
15
You can't get anything that you would want for 10 million in Miami.
Okay, 15
Yeah.
mil, right?
I looked. My budget was 10 million before I went to 20.
Then you got to put down 20% for the
Correct.
Right? You gotta put down
Traditionally, yeah. Most lenders, if you're looking at that price range, you can expect 40%.
40%
Yeah.
down.
So you're gonna need to have some serious cash saved up. They won't because you're no longer in regular loans, you're no longer in jumbo loans, you're now what's called super jumbo loans. So this is so if you start looking at super jumbo loans, it's $5 million plus, and the risk is much higher to the bank. So they're going to be requiring typically a lot more a lower loan to value.
So 15 mil,
Yeah.
40%. So now I got to put down 6 mil.
6 million.
I got to put down 6 mil. All right. Every time me and Jeremy start thinking about, maybe we should get a crib, not together, but like their own crib. We both want, right?
You and your personal time is your business.
What is it? Oh, 6 mil, right? But then we look at shit like our ad accounts or money we can make in the stock market or trading, and we think that the opportunity cost of that 6 million, like my ad account, I get fucking 3x, 4x.
I mean, that's wonderful, and that's always going to be there, right?
Yeah.
So my rationale and my logic is, what's the point of making all this money if you're not going to spend it on something that you enjoy, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you understand the motivation of waking up and having your 100-foot yacht in the backyard,
No, that's
overlooking the bay with a pool and everything that you
Yeah,
need in your
I
house.
want you to talk me out of it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not making an argument.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're somebody who I
Talk
respect
you-
your financial prowess.
Right. So I would say if the payment and the acquisition is comfortable to you,
Mhm.
for you, and that monthly payment, it does hit different, right? I mean,
Yeah.
my monthly payment right now, in my house is $96,000 per month.
96,000.
Yeah. So, and that was an adjustment. I've never had a mortgage that high.
Yeah.
That's principal, interest, tax, and insurance.
Mhm.
My monthly property tax is $35,000 out of that, just for the
Mhm.
property tax. So it's just an adjustment
Monthly,
monthly.
35,000.
Yeah, it's about 400 and some thousand per year
Whoa.
for property taxes on 20 million. That's about right.
Wow. Yeah.
So, and then everything else that comes with it that you don't really expect, right? Like
Yeah.
there's gates, there's multiple garages,
Yeah.
there's docks, there's cabanas, things that you'll only realize once you actually get into maintaining it. So I'm looking at it from an appreciation standpoint. They're not
Mhm.
making more waterfront land in Miami.
That's true.
Also for me with my yacht, I was paying $38,000 per month at the marina. That was a savings. So I was able to save, $450,000 per year just in dock storage.
Okay.
So I was able to justify it that way. And it's also just the lifestyle. I mean, I and also the 15-car garage, because I have
Right.
a lot of cars.
You got a lot of cars.
So for me, I was able to justify it.
Yeah.
If you don't have any like practical purpose, there's no reason to have a 12,000 square foot house,
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
They just don't make 3,000 square foot waterfront houses with 100-foot boat docks. So
There's not a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's-
So
So it makes sense. I can see that. It's just, I've always been told you should buy a house, but the house you live in is just, I just don't know.
I mean, it's dead equity, because I put a lot of money
Yeah.
into the equity of my property.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because I know that in 30 days, Section 8 and all these
Exactly.
beautiful taxpayers on here are going to send me another $1 million, right?
Yeah.
So it's really, for me, it was an investment combined with the fact that I think that I'm going to be in Miami long term. So I knew
Yeah.
that I wasn't going to be like, oh, let me rent here for a while. I rented here for 6 months in Brickell. I realized that I love Miami.
Yeah.
That's why I made the investment. But at the end of the day, you just need to be able to sleep well at night, knowing that you have that payment.
Yeah. Initially, when I moved here, I was actually thinking about buying, but shit was kind of out of hand. It was, during the COVID and shit. And I was like, you know what, man, let me just first see if I even really like this shit.
Yeah.
And I do like it. I can definitely see myself here long term, especially any other city with no state income tax. I don't really want to live in.
Yeah.
Like Houston, Dallas. I don't know how to ride a horse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In Vegas, I'm not a fucking coyote. You know what I'm saying? So Miami's definitely my I can see this being my long-term home, you know, indefinitely.
I've lived in a few different places, and like I just can't see anywhere better than here.
Yeah. So listen, I just bought my first piece of real estate income thanks to you with your help.
Yeah.
But it was to rent someone else. I just wanted to ask you about that. I asked all my rich friends this question, you know.
Yeah, and I mean everyone's got their different philosophy on it, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, man, you should just rent where you live so you can have, you know, you can be a nomad and move places. Like I'm 35, right? Like I'm trying to settle down eventually. Like I want to have permanent roots. And I also sleep way better knowing that I'll have a house eventually that you can't just be taken away from, right? Like you right now, the owner of this condo could decide to, you know, sell it, or
he could, but is he right? Like, you know, like I mean, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the uncertainty of it. For me, it's just that's the only reason why I wouldn't want to do that, right?
Yeah, it's like I mean, like his, you know, people buy real estate to rent it out. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he gets income, like he don't hear from me. I'm a good tenant.
That's true, but if he fucks around, if he gets divorced and he gets thought repellent.
That's right. He doesn't have the thought repellent.
You just never know, right? So that's just another reason.
Shit can happen. It's just like peace of mind.
Peace of mind. I mean, and it's nice because there's no point in making all this money if you're not enjoying it.
Yeah. No.
Because I mean, I could have looked at it a million ways. On my property, 20 million, I put 50% down. I put $10 million down.
Yeah.
I could have bought another 500 rental properties on that, right?
Exactly.
Great. I would have gone from $1 million to 1.5 million per month. How does my life change if I'm making 1.5 million instead of $1 million?
Yeah. You got to spend it. I'm not a cheapskate, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, right? You know, but it's just when we start talking about those kind of numbers, it's like, all right,
you gotta
opportunity cost, and I don't make $1 million a month. I'm gonna be transparent. I don't make $1 million a month. Yeah.
There you go.
You know
yeah, and I mean we'll get there. So, but and I mean it's also scaled differently. If you're looking at $10 to $12 million properties, which there are nice properties there, it just for me, I had like a lot with the boat and the cars. Yeah, that's I had there was only like 2 or 3 properties in the whole city that would have worked. Honestly,
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
you balling so hard that there's only a few houses that can accommodate your balling.
The biggest thing was the garage.
Yeah, the garage.
It's very hard to find because everyone in I don't know what it is. If you go to Venetian Islands, Hibiscus Island, even Star Island, they all have these like little welfare 2 and 3 car garages. It's like no one has like more than 3 cars in Miami. It's bizarre. Or they all have like offsite storage and they have like a warehouse 10 miles away in Hollywood or something.
That's
like I don't. Weird. Yeah, who's gonna go trade out cars in a warehouse? Yeah. It's giving very low income, and I don't like it.
And you need fucking shit big enough for your boat.
That's true too. Yeah, and that's even my boat's 100 feet and my dock's only 80. So currently I'm paying $10,000 a month for my neighbor's water rights. So I'm leasing. Oh,
you got to pay your neighbor for
water. Yeah, because my ass end is hanging out into his water.
You have to pay him how much?
$10,000 per month.
He gets $10,000 a month just to let you
just for my swim platform on my yacht to be in his property.
This motherfucker is falling on some different level, man.
Because I mean, if I didn't, I have no choice, and it's literally probably I think on his end it's like 5 or 10 feet that's overhanging, and then the bow is overhanging my other neighbors. But he's cool. My other neighbor doesn't care. He's not charging me anything. But yeah, I mean, it's 20 feet overall, 21 feet overall. But yeah, he was like, and it's an empty lot. That's the funny part.
Oh, there's no boat there.
There's no boat. There's no dock. There's nothing there. There's no house there. He's not even developed anything yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He just came by one day and he was like, "Hey, is that your boat?" And I was like, "Yep, I just moved in." Like, "Hey, neighbor." And he's like, "That's not gonna work, man. Like, I'll get back to you. We're gonna start building here, and like, I'll get back to you with a number on that." And then like 2 days later, he texts me and he's like, "If you want to continue to keep your boat there, it's gonna be $10,000 per month."
Oh shit!
And I didn't even bother to negotiate.
Yeah.
Because if I went back and he changed his mind, or was like, "You know what? Forget it." I was like,
"Yeah." Then what do you do with the fucking boat if you just
and then I'm going back to Marina and paying $36,000. So
then you got to go like get your boat.
And there's nothing worse than having your boat offsite.
Nothing worse.
There's nothing worse. Like, because before when I had it, it's just like you could just tell a girl, "Hey, just come on over. Like we can go grab drinks on the yacht. The chef will prepare something on the yacht." Yeah. Or you have friends or family come over. You don't have to tell them, "Hey, come meet me at this marina over here in the corner," and be amongst the other villagers. Like nobody wants to do that.
You ain't got to tell me, man.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
It's awful.
These guys know what you're talking about. They get it. What about the boat, man? Tell me about what's the math on that boat? I feel like a video on that.
Yeah. The yacht, I paid $5 million for it.
$5 million for the yacht.
For the yacht. She is a 100-foot Pershing. I put $2.5 million down, so 50% down on the yacht. The monthly payment is right at $19,000 per month. And then I have a 3-man crew. I have a full-time engineer, full-time captain, and full-time deckhand.
That deckhand, he lives on the boat.
He lives on the boat.
That's his home.
That's his home. That's where he
his
lives.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the boat has 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, 1,100 square feet. And then there's crew quarters that sleep all 3. So that's where he lives.
The captain, you just call him up.
He lives close by.
So
lives
is
15
he on call 24 hours?
20, not 24. He's got a family, but but during reasonable hours, yes.
Yeah. So you can, if you wanted, you can come say pick me up from here. Like,
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
Pull up to this.
Yeah, I could call him right now, and he'd be here in probably 30 minutes.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's just like if it's on a Sunday night or he's with his kids or something, I'm not going to do that.
Oh
but,
man, my daughter.
but during the week, we'll go all the time because I love shooting guns.
Yeah.
So I'll just call him up. Him and the first mate and me will go take, and I have like 50 cows, 308s, 338 Lapuas. We'll just go out to sea, and we have floating steel targets, and we'll just set them up and blast them.
You got to invite me, man.
Yeah, come on up.
Please let me do
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah,
never
it's fun.
shot a gun off a boat.
Oh, it's super fun. Yeah.
Oh,
Because then you have also the effect of it kind of wobbling a little bit.
Oh,
so it's a good time. Yeah.
I got a lot of guns, man. I would love to
There you
shoot
go.
them off a boat. Yo, I gotta regain my composure, man. I got excited. Imagine what these girls think about. That's amazing, yo. Dude, we had a super chat or two.
There's Andre asking, do you invest in Broward County? Also, much thanks.
He probably lives in Broward County, and he
Yeah.
probably thinks,
Yeah.
and, you know,
So that's Fort Lauderdale, right? Broward
yeah.
County?
I don't know.
No, the answer is no.
Yeah.
I don't do anything in Southern Florida.
Yeah.
Main reason being property taxes are super high here.
Mm.
The purchase price of the house are super high here.
Yeah.
Condition of the properties here are super high, or mostly like trailers. And I just don't like investing in trailer parks.
Yeah, fuck that. Yo, Andre, listen, check it out, man. You probably asked that because you're thinking, oh, I live in Broward County. Maybe I can get some shit by my crib, but like you don't have to do that. That's what you're
Yeah, it's a really important point. There's no reason to be buying properties where you live.
yeah.
It might seem like it's easier to manage, but it's actually counterintuitive because if you're there, you're going to feel like, hey, I can just go over there and handle this. And that's
Fuck
the last
that.
thing that you
You
want.
now want to build that. habit.
Yeah. You don't want to be a landlord. You want to be an investor.
Yeah.
The second you become a landlord, you're stuck in that trap. Like, oh, I can save $25. Oh, I can save a service call with a plumber for $80.
Nah, man.
No, call them, pay the money. And then we also have other ways of mitigating those expenses. Major expenses, roofs, foundations, heating and air units. We don't pay for any of that.
Mm.
And we go over that in the coaching as well.
You don't pay for any of that.
We don't pay for any of that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's wild.
Can't
That's
be
wild.
paying that on 710 units.
Man, so like this, how many cars did you just buy in a row?
So I have 4 Rolls Royces. I bought 3 all on the same day. I bought the new Rolls Royce Phantom.
He bought 3 in the same day. That's like,
Yeah. I bought the brand new Rolls Royce Spectre, which is the electric one.
Yeah.
Brand new Phantom, and then also the brand new Ghost Eclipsis, the Black Badge Ghost. That's the one that's 1 of 25 in the world.
That shit is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually drove that here today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I never drive it, so I was like, we should probably take it today.
Listen, guys. I mean, this motherfucker is balling. That's why when we met through like a mutual friend, and I was learning about this shit, I was like, damn, I need to learn more about this
There you
Section 8
go.
shit. And now I started investing, right? And I'm trying to bring that to y'all too, man. So make sure y'all register for the free training. Monday. The link's in the description. Register, sign up, man. Let's get it, man. We buying back the block. We buying back the block. What's it? You got any like crazy success stories from any of your students?
Yeah. So one of my most successful students, his name is Jackson. He was
Mhm.
25 at the time when we started working together this a couple of years ago, and he's bought over 300 properties. The way he did it, he kind of went big or went home, right? And he went big. So he went with the seller financing route, and he decided to, instead of calling individual homeowners, he would call investors, people that like owned a bunch of properties. And he found a guy that was willing to seller finance him 142 of his first 300 properties all at one time. So I think that he gave him 90% loan to value, meaning he financed 90%, and then Jackson had to come up with the 10%. But at the time, that was still like, I think 300,000, 350,000. He didn't have that. So then he got a hard money loan from basically a loan shark, like a lender, to come up with either 10%. So he bought the whole thing without any cash out of pocket. And then he was able to reoccupy all 140 some units with Section 8 tenants. And now he's cash flowing like $40,000 a month.
$40,000
Yeah.
a month. Shout out to Jackson.
Yeah.
How old you say he was?
He was 25.
25.
Yeah.
man, 40 grand a month.
Yeah.
That's
But
not
that, I
bad.
mean, that obviously it took him probably 2 months to put that deal together.
Yeah.
Because what he was doing is he would reach out to, like I said, you can buy a list of absentee landlords. These are landlords that don't even live in the same state. So if the property is registered, let's say in North Carolina, but the the owner is in South Carolina,
Mhm.
you actually determine that, right?
Oh,
And the probability of them selling or being more motivated to get out of it is much higher. So that's what he would do, is he would reach out to all these landlords that owned from out of state, and that's what he would do.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy, man. He's 23. You said
25.
25.
Yep.
I was a poor boy when I was 25, man. That's when I was
Yeah.
working, man. That's amazing. That's amazing, man. How'd you learn about Section 8?
Man, it was totally by accident. So I was buying, like I said, buying condos, buying single family properties, wholesaling my way up. And then I got to a point where I was like, man, I was buying $90,000, $120,000 houses, and trying to put limited down payments on each one. And eventually I got into DSCR loans, which are commercial loans, which we'll talk more about as well. And I was like, I hated wholesaling. Wholesaling's like just soul sucking. You're just constantly grinding. It's very active. And I wanted to get out of the active source of income. So I was like, let me just see what happens if I buy a cheaper house. It requires a lot less money, a lot less risk, and I could probably buy a lot more of them. So the first one that I bought was in Wilmington, North Carolina. It was $55,000. I bought it, had a tenant in there paying $1,350 per month, which is an insane ratio. So the day after I closed, I get a call from the seller, and he's like, hey, we need to switch you over to direct deposit. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, how do you think you're getting $1,350 a month? This is a Section 8 house. And I was like, all right, cool. So then it was just like a crash course, man. Just like figuring it out. Fortunately, the tenants that were there were super old. They'd been there forever. And they were on disability. They were like 80, I think 85. And also they were a veteran. One that the husband was a veteran of foreign wars. So anyways, that's the best case scenario, because Section 8 was paying 100% of their rent. There was no rent to collect from them. And I mean, it's a vicious cycle, because what you want to look for in a tenant is someone that is in the worst financial position, because the worse off they are, the better the government's going to help.
Yeah.
If they're disabled with multiple dependents and they're a veteran, get out of here, man. That's a home run. That's a dream tenant. Dream tenant. The only problem is he's 85 at the time. So we really like to get them at 70 to 72. You have at least 10 to 12 years of useful shelf life is what they call it. That's not my term. That's like what they call it in the business. Because I mean, they're dying at like 83, 85 on average.
And you providing them a great home.
That's
for
my
their last years, man.
Yeah.
That's their last year. Yeah.
Cruise retirement properties.
Yes.
My property managers call them cruise retirement villas, but I just keep it real.
That's crazy. I think we got a super chat.
Matthew's asking, been watching your YouTube videos since 2014, learned a lot and applied it lost lots of fat, not weight, but I'm glad to see my results now. I'm learning journey to soak up as much game as I can.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to you, Matthew. Listen, man, I appreciate that, man. Listen, you want to start putting punctuations in your sentences, though, man, because it make it more. Like, you gotta remember, and I don't mean that the disrespect. It's Nima's English is a second language, man. So that shit is like super confusing to him. Like, I can decode that shit, but like he's used, like he learned English, like proper English. Like he learned English in school. I learned it in the hood talking to niggas and shit. But like, so I can decode it a little better, man. Like Nima, you gotta remember Nima's reading these joints, man. And he learned like the King's English. You know what I'm saying? So, but thank you, man. Shout out to you, brother. Congratulations on your success. That was a big run-on sentence. You know what I'm saying? Listen, but we still happy. All of your super chats, go for research and development with Thought Repellent. It's gonna save you a lot of headache, man. Being able to have like a force field around these. You can put this, you can apply this to your body. Tom's gonna have to fucking bathe in this shit because he's balling so hard. You know what I'm saying? Or you can spray your.
That's why I'm an early investor.
Yeah, that's why he's early. He's put in there, man. He's an angel investor.
There you
go. But you can spray it around your house like a perimeter. So like, because once you really start balling, if you join this fucking training this week, next week,
Monday 8 p.m. Get in or get out.
Getting this Section 8 money, man. Hoes gonna be scaling the walls, man. Like the last scene in I Am Legend, trying to get to you because you out here balling, man. If you ain't got no thought repelling, man, you probably gonna fall victim.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
And we're not liable.
Listen, I tried to help you. I've been trying to help you it's been 10 years straight.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? Anyway, shout out to you, Matthew. Let me just switch gears for a minute, man. How is being rich, aside from all the Rolls Royces, Lambos,
got them,
$20 million homes in yachts?
Yep.
how's being rich saved you? It's changed your life.
It has been saved my life.
Changed. Yeah.
Changed your life. It didn't save my life. The biggest thing is going to be the time, right? So being able to not only my sister, I have a younger sister, and then I have parents. My parents are both retired. They all had their own careers, and then my sister is currently working. So being able to like hook them up, take care of them, is really cool. I just bought my sister a brand new BMW M8. Like I bought my parents' cars. Yeah. So that's probably the most fun part to me. Because after a while, like the yachts and the cars and stuff is cool and it plays well.
How many Rolls Royces?
Yeah, there's only so many Rolls Royces you can buy.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even really register at all. And like, I mean, it's for a couple of days of excitement. It's fun. It's a novel. But for me, it's a write-off. For me, it's a marketing expense. For me, I enjoy the brand. That's why, you know, I buy Rolls Royces. But in general, the real happiness comes from doing whatever I want, right? So I love to yacht. I love to travel. I love to jet ski. I love to paintball. I love to play tennis. Like I love spending time with my girlfriend. I go on, you know, crazy trips all the time, and just not having to report to anybody, having no accountability. And it just makes it a lot harder to cancel you. You know, when you have federal government backing you, it becomes a lot. You have to say some crazy shit to get canceled. So these are all things that are just like really nice. And also allows me to kind of, you know, outsource all the parts of my life that I don't enjoy doing. Like having a chef, that's super helpful. You already met him. Like housekeeping, you know, crew for your boat, all these things are just nice to have. But and it allows you to focus on health. You know, now I'm working out a lot more. I'm able to eat a lot healthier. I got a trainer. So it's just, you can become more consistent. You can focus on the things you're actually passionate about. Because that's where people fuck up, is they try to make money with their passion, which I think works for some people, but I think for the vast majority of people, you need to be focusing on providing value, like housing. And then after you get the money, then you can start focusing on your passion.
Yo, straight up, man. Like, yo, I was thinking about this. Because, you know, I like to play guitar, and I thought I was going, you know, I play guitar, keyboard, drums. I used to be signed to Sony Records as a rapper.
Yeah, it's a light flex.
And I got dropped when they merged with BMG, so whatever. But you know, I was a fucking starving artist, man, trying to make money off my passion. And I didn't start balling until I said, hey, man, fuck my passion. Let's go for this money. Now, if I want to, I could play guitar all day, man.
I mean, it's just unconventional wisdom, because everyone loves to say that. It's like, oh, if, you know, you find your passion, you're going to get rich. And it's like, my passion was paintball. You know, the best paid paintballer in the world right now makes like $200,000 a year. It's like, it's not going to happen. Poor boy so, shit, so for me, it was like no one grows up being like, oh, I want to be a Section 8 landlord, right? I want to buy a Section 8. It all comes down to, holy shit, this is a really niche thing. There's still nowhere near the amount of competition. I think the last time I checked, there's 41,000 available Section 8 properties in the country. So it's guaranteed income. It's recession proof. During the government shutdowns, during the pandemic, there was never a lapse in any of the payments. There's no other business that you can say that. You know, if you buy a regular rental, or if you buy Airbnbs and people get furloughed, or if there's unemployment, or if there's another pandemic, you're shafted. You know, the same thing's going to happen again, and you're going to be stuck at home. So during the pandemic, I think we had one of our best years, because nobody could move out. So we had no expenses on people moving out, and the government continued paying. It was a beautiful thing.
It was a beautiful thing, man. Shout out to the pandemics, man.
Shout
out, motherfuckers was crying. I saw other entrepreneurs crying and shit.
That's when you got to get rich. We bought so many properties during the pandemic, because
everything was on sale. I made so much money. Stock market.
There you go.
I made. I saw other entrepreneurs crying and shit. You know, I'm like, bro,
bitching.
I don't know what y'all tripping over. I'm out here balling.
Yeah, man. That was head down.
Laying people off and shit. I'm like, shit. I'm hiring. I'm balling. I'm balling super hard. Yo, but I think that's a really good point, man. It's like, if you just get some money, then you can do as much as your passion as you want, instead of trying to make money. And a lot of times when you fucking turn your passion into a job, you lose the passion.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It sucks the life out of your
and then it doesn't become fun anymore.
It doesn't become fun anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like, when I used to do music, it became like it became like a job. Like I had to, and it made it. It really fucked up my love for it for a little bit, especially when I was, you know, at the labels and shit, and I would see the people in charge. I was like, oh man, these are the motherfuckers making decisions. You know what I'm saying? Nerds. And then, but now it's like, it's weird. Like, if I play music now, or make some tracks now, it's out of like real love, because I don't need to do it. It's just for fun.
And it's probably a lot better.
It's a lot. That's the real music. When you're not trying to make money off of it. You know, that's when it's really a passion. When you do it for free. You know, but you got to get money to do that.
Got to fund it somehow.
Follow the bread, then go fucking do your
what you
passion.
want.
Yeah, now you
Yeah.
can do paintball all day. You shooting your guns off the yacht.
Don't even care.
It's nothing. It's nothing, man. If you would have tried to get rich being a paintballer, that's stupid as fuck. I'm glad you ain't do that.
Didn't do that. I'd be here on Section 8.
Yeah, we'd be looking for us. You'd be somebody's tenant.
Sure would.
What's the craziest thing you spend money on? The purchase or
Oh man, like most expensive or just like
just crazy shit,
crazy
man. Like
stuff.
like most expensive or just wild as shit.
I mean, I've probably spent $500,000 in guns. I bought a lot of guns. I have a absurd collection of weapons. Most of it's still in North Carolina because the whole crossing multiple state lines.
Yeah,
Most of it
ATF will come after you if you
yeah.
do that.
It's all tax stamp. It's all under trust.
Mhm.
But most of them are either suppressed or SBRs. A lot of short barrel rifles, and then I also have several fully automatic weapons. So I love to shoot. Like
Yeah,
I'm
just for
shooting at least
fun,
twice a week. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm part of a few different gun clubs here too.
I'm only a member at Lock and Load.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's one of them for indoor, but the
Mhm.
one in Homestead I've been to as well.
Homestead.
Yeah.
I don't know which one that is.
They have an outdoor range. So I take the
Okay.
BMG out there. I have a 330 Lapua. We'll go shoot out there.
Nice.
It's fun. Yeah. So it's a good time.
That's
But I mean, for individual stuff, it's definitely guns and cars. The single biggest purchase I've ever made was my house. I was 20 million.
the yacht's a big flex.
Yeah. The ongoing cost of that is probably the most ridiculous between the crew costs and the insurance costs and the fuel cost.
Would you say the total was total monthly
between
cost?
$80,000 and $90,000 per month just to have her.
just to have?
Just to have her. That's
Yeah.
crew costs. The extra $10,000 I'm paying my neighbor.
Yeah.
The crew costs are probably the most expensive because it's 3 full-time salaries and they're all 6 figures.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's some serious ball.
Yeah. But it's fun. I mean, once you go out there, you kind of forget about all those expenses. You know, it just
Yeah.
kind of goes out the window.
That yacht money, man. That's crazy. What I'm trying to think. I started to think, what would I do crazy at $1 million a month?
A lot of things become
Yeah.
available. I mean, I
Yeah.
could get into private aviation. I don't have anywhere to fly to. That's why I haven't gotten
Yeah.
a plane or a helicopter. It's not me. I mean, I enjoy traveling, but on big international airliners.
Yeah.
I mean, you're already traveling first class, so that doesn't really change.
Have you thought about a private jet or any shit like that? Or
I only did it. I thought about it for a write-off, but there's no real business reason that I could justify. Because everywhere that I'm going to be going, I'm not buying any Section 8. I'm not going to go take it up to North
Yeah.
Carolina, you know.
Yeah.
So they would just see the travel log and be like, Bahamas,
That's what-
Vegas,
that's what
like the
I'm saying,
fun.
man.
So
yeah.
it would just never really work for me, and I would just get audited really quick, and I just wouldn't want to deal with that. But it's just never been a passion of mine. I never really
Yeah.
cared. I think it's a huge flex. I think it would do
It's
really
huge
well
flex.
on social media.
Huge flex.
It would finish off the rich motherfuckers.
That's the
starter
trifecta,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yacht,
The
mansion,
boat,
private jet.
mansion, private jet.
Yeah, I
that's
might just get one just for the
That's the trifecta.
shits and giggles.
Yeah. You got a girlfriend now.
I do have a girlfriend, yeah. So we
How's
started
she,
dating.
how's she feel about you making this much money? Is that something she's cool with?
She really didn't know until she came to my house because she's not really on social media. That's one of the most
Yeah.
attractive, parts
Oh,
of
yeah.
the whole personality.
That's sexy.
Yeah. She's got like 600 followers. I was
Oh,
like,
shit.
nice.
Nice. That's what's up.
So no OnlyFans, no Cash App in the bio.
Yo, Cash App in the bio is wild.
Yeah, she's gainfully employed. She
Yeah.
does. She's in the automotive business, so she does marketing for an automotive brand. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that I like about her. But yeah,
Listen, let me ask you a question. I know the answer. I know what my answer is. I've been asked this before, but I got one of my rich friends here. I want him to tell the people. Would you date a girl who had an OnlyFans?
no.
And tell me why. Tell me why.
It would just be there's no way I could ever tell
Take it serious.
because first of all, my mom's an FBI investigator. Not really, but she would find out very quickly what the girl did, and then it would just never end. My parents would just never. I would just never hear the end of it.
Yeah.
I mean, that combined with the fact that just like, okay, so you're doing that content.
Yeah.
That means you constantly have hundreds of dudes in your DMs. You're constantly getting,
Right.
offered all this shit. I just wouldn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
And there's no reason to.
You don't have
And
to.
also, I've met girls that are on OnlyFans, and that's just addicting. Like they could be making $250,000 per month, and they still wouldn't want to give that up, even if we started dating,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
So it's way too toxic. I
Yeah.
would just never want to deal with it.
And then imagine if it can't go nowhere,
Yeah.
right? Like you're gonna get serious, but you're going to let that.
Yeah. I
chick
mean,
have your
I've been
babies?
out with them, but like I've never like.
Oh, we've all been out.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, like taking them seriously.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yo, but bitch, you got your naked fucking pictures on the internet,
Yeah.
that's just forever.
That's forever.
So let's say, God forbid, the thought repellent, I run out one day and she gets pregnant, and then now that this kid's got to go to school and people,
yeah,
they're gonna find those pictures of her.
that's gonna end up somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just not worth
That's
it.
gonna be difficult for that kid.
Yeah.
I don't know if these hoes are taking that into account. Maybe they don't know.
They don't. It's all short-term gains, and
Yeah.
I mean, there's a shelf life on that too. There's a
Yeah.
shelf life on older tenants and a shelf life on OnlyFans girls. So these are all things that must be considered.
Yeah. She ain't gonna be young and attractive forever.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Nah, I just wanted to hear you say, do we have any somebody? No.
Yeah, we got actually one.
Okay. What's the talk about?
Mercedes of Grace is asking, is there a minimum monthly or annual income for a student to be accepted in your program, Tom?
That is a great question.
Mhm.
So it's less more about income and more about current cash that you have. Because if you, let's say you have $10,000 or $7,500, you can still go out and buy seller finance deals and still have enough in reserves to be able to, get into these properties. Obviously, the more income you have, the more you can reinvest on a monthly level, assuming you're not over leveraged, to the tits.
Yeah.
And that's why that was a big thing that I did mention earlier is when I got started, I was living super lean. I did not have the crazy cars. I was not going to the clubs and doing all that because it's really easy to do that. You get your first 4 or 5 properties, you're making extra 3, 4, 5,000 on top of the income you're already making. It's so easy to go and be like, oh, like, buying dumb shit. I could have gotten an M3 a lot earlier. BMW, that was like another dream car I had early on. But I held off as long as I could, before I got those cars because it's so much better to be able to buy all those with passive income and not have to worry about making that monthly payment. My whole criteria of anything that I buy, and I've done this probably since post-grad, right? When I graduated from UNCW, it was like, if I want to buy something new, the only way that I'm buying it is if I really don't notice that monthly payment coming out, right? So if it affects my lifestyle, I just won't even buy it because it's not worth the stress. Like if the asset or the liability in this case that you buy is gonna own you, then you don't want to buy that.
Yeah, that's 100%, man.
Yeah.
And especially like if you're buying luxuries and shit, you definitely don't want to. You want to do that with passive.
Then you're gonna end up that motherfucker in 34C on American Airlines coming by you and all Gucci.
Yo, that motherfucker. Well, he be fucking decked in that
every
shit,
single
you know
time.
what I'm saying?
The chain, the bracelets, by the bathroom in the back. It's not what you want to be.
And it's called I call it the poverty parade. When you get on a plane first,
I forgot
and
about
then
that.
they walk by you. It's like,
Yeah.
they put on a little show for you. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus.
Yeah. we want to get y'all out the poverty parade, man. Come sit down next to us, man. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Sign up for the training this weekend. I mean, this Monday. You know,
Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time.
you gotta
We're gonna
get
go
out
in
the
there. We're
poverty
gonna walk him exactly the same steps I took Brandon through getting his first property.
parade. Yeah.
We're gonna show you guys how to do that, how to set up property management, how to buy these properties with seller financing. And you don't need credit. I mean, we're buying directly from homeowners.
Bro.
We're not buying with any banks.
I got good credit. We didn't even use it.
Didn't even
We
use
just
it. There's no credit application when you're buying from a homeowner.
I put $2,000 down on that credit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's fucking crazy.
It's like, you probably spent more on damn liquid death this month.
Yep. Probably, you know what I'm saying? Straight up, man. What's something else that people who don't know about Section 8 real estate that you feel like would be beneficial for them to know?
Yeah, we could talk about some of the cons.
Yeah.
I mean,
What are the
obviously
cons,
cons and downsides to anything. I would say the inspection. So every property, the federal government make sure that the property is inhabitable, is in good condition, that you're taking care of it, right? So you really cannot be a slumlord. I mean, I get this all the time when I post on TikTok, like, oh, slumlord. If you know anything about Section 8, you really cannot be a slumlord,
Yeah,
because
you
if
can't do
you
it.
don't take care of the property and it gets into disrepair and they have the annual inspection, they'll straight up fail you, and then they'll stop making payments to you. So you have to take care of the property. So if you're a regular tenant and you're not doing Section 8, you can get away with more things, right? So we had an inspection fail recently because they wanted us to power wash the moss off the side of a house. And I was like, why? And they're like, oh, it could lead to water intrusion on the siding, so you need to remove it first. I was like, it's not acid, dude. It's not going to cause holes in the siding. But anyways, we had to do it. And they just have some of these BS rules that you kind of got to play along with. But that's really the biggest downside. That's really the main difference between Section 8 and any other property.
Really? So you actually have to probably take better care of that.
They take better care of the property
Yeah.
in order to stay compliant. And I mean, for the most part, a lot of the stuff's the tenant's responsibility, right? Like they're going to check for cleanliness. That's going to be on the tenant because they're living there.
Mm.
But for certain things, the government inspector is going to check, and it's literally only 1 hour per year, per property. It's not anything super in depth. They're not walking on the roof. They're not doing any crazy inspection. It's mostly visual and making sure that the utilities are working, the water is running, everything's on like that.
Yeah, damn. What is that? The only con, or is it more?
You think that's probably the biggest one, because everything else you can compare to a regular rental property, right? So with a regular rental property, people also think about the tenant quality is going to be worse. And if you have a regular property that's not on Section 8 and then you have a Section 8 property and you have two different tenants and they both move in, they both have the exact same chance of being a shitty tenant that's going to destroy your property.
Yeah.
It all comes down to how well you screen them. There's no way that I could own 710 properties and have all these Section 8 tenants living in these properties and me not losing millions of dollars every year on maintenance and repairs. The only reason that's the case is because we make sure that we put good tenants in the property. Exactly. So outside of the inspection, it's really the same thing as renting out, your condo to anybody else.
Except the rent is guaranteed.
Except the rent's guaranteed. That's the biggest part. Crazy. And also they pay more than regular rent tenants, because think about it. If you have a Section 8 property and a regular property, and if they were to both be $1,000 a month in rent and you're a new investor, you're probably going to go to the one that doesn't require an inspection every year, right?
Yeah.
So Section 8 says, okay, Brandon, that same 3-bedroom house will pay $1,300 a month so you can accept Section 8. Now you're incentivized.
So they want the government actually wants to incentivize
so
these motherfuckers have a place to live,
because they don't want people to be homeless. Because it's not good. Higher homeless rates cause a lot more crime. Crime causes a lot more problems.
That makes a lot of sense.
There you go.
Guys, make sure you register for the class, man. We're going into depth on Monday. Oh,
classic.
Yeah,
every single time.
I wish it would just play when I entered rooms. I think if I get a HomePod, I can set that up. When I go into different rooms, I get money, just starts playing.
You got a super chat.
All right.
The number one is asking King Keto Carter. Where's in the hood up? Keep building, man up. Does thoughts you probably have with keeping bad tenants of Section 8? God bless.
Well, just because somebody's struggling financially doesn't mean they thought. You know what I'm saying? So, you could probably add this to your screening criteria. Spray the whole way.
I think you told me that your R&D is already developing a bad Section 8 repellent.
Ooh, that's going to be next on it, man. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if we were supposed to talk about that yet, but that's coming up.
Some secrets. We got some secret sauce. Listen, I wanted to ask you. Oh, thank you, Noble One. King Keto. Listen, Tom. Tell me about the nuns.
Oh God. So a few years ago, I started housing religious housing. So like nuns in North Carolina.
Nuns on Section 8.
They're not on Section 8. So
okay.
So it's the second best thing. You hear about the separation between church and state, right? So the Catholic Church, they have clergy, they have admin staff, they have nuns that they need to house. So they reached out to me while I was in North Carolina asking if I wanted to, house any of their nuns. And originally I was like Section 8 all the way, but then they showed me the rents that they were offering, and it was like probably 10% even higher than Section 8.
Oh shit, nuns.
So, yeah. And they wanted like 75 of them, right? To have their own properties. So I started buying more properties. I already had some availability and vacancies, so I was able to house a lot of them, kind of understanding they have no inspections. The nuns take perfect care of the property.
Yeah.
And then I started buying some in Central Florida recently because the Archdiocese here wanted to buy some properties. So then we started doing that. But we have had to evict 2 separate nuns.
They had to keep some nuns out?
Yeah. So
Tell me about that.
So the first nun, it was kind of a shock.
She had OnlyFans?
She was not an OnlyFans. It was almost as bad, but her neighbor, which is another nun, caught her bringing a dude into her nunnery.
Hold on.
And he was
hold on. That whole sentence fucked me up. Let's start at the end. What the fuck is a nunnery?
A nunnery is an alternate word for a convent. It can't really be a convent because these are single family properties that these nuns are occupying. I just happen to own multiple properties on that block.
Nunnery.
But they all have their own unit, right? So she was coming back to the unit, to the nunnery. And her neighbor saw her, and this sister's name is the Good Sister Mary Teresa. That's actually her name.
Mary Teresa.
And she got caught bringing a dude into the property, which is against every covenant that they have, right?
Damn.
Got her cheeks clapped. And then she reported in the church. The next day, they told me that I needed to evict her. And I was like, on what like I can't just evict.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, we've already told her she's got to be out. She's going to be out in the next 24 to 48 hours. If you need to file eviction paperwork, do it. And I was like, well, she's going to leave. We don't need to do an eviction. Like it's going to fuck up her record.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right, well, we'll let her know. Dude, by 2 days later, the unit was completely spotless and she was out. They got her out.
Damn.
So
but she got kicked out of her home for some dick.
Yeah.
Damn. Was it a black guy?
I don't know the racial background of the suitor. But I do know that she was out and they replaced her with a new nun by that Friday. It was insane. Damn. It was the most efficient relocation that I've ever seen. She was gone. I have no idea what happened to her. They don't talk about her anymore. And the second nun was actually like 2 weeks ago. She got caught shoplifting.
Nun was stealing.
Got arrested, got caught shoplifting.
What
and
did she steal?
I don't know. It was at Target.
Damn, man. Stealing out of Target?
Yeah. And they had her caught her in 4K and everything according to the... Because we work with the Archdiocese and they have an admin staff there and she's just giving me all the...
That's background. One of the first fucking rules. It's it's right there. It's it's played.
Thou shalt not steal.
Moses got that. He was
I don't know about all that, but anyways, she did get got, and she was removed as well.
Damn, man.
Oh, and the first one was excommunicated. She was removed from the church altogether.
Excommunicado?
Fully blown out. The second one,
like John Wick.
The second one, they did not, but the first one they did.
What did they do with the second one?
I don't know. They just removed her and they replaced her. I think last Thursday. Yeah.
Oh shit!
I don't even know her. Damn. I don't even remember her name.
So you didn't really kick out the nuns. The
church did.
The church did.
But it was my property manager that made sure she was gone.
God forgives, but the church don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
God, I trust. Everyone else pays cash.
You know what I'm saying? It's funny, and that's the Catholic Church. It's funny, man. They're so strict on. It's irony that it's so strict on consensual heterosexual sex, and they're lenient in some other ways. I don't know. The irony of that is not lost upon me. How many nuns you got?
So I have 48 nuns in North Carolina, and I think we're at 30 or 25 nuns here. It's outside of Orlando.
You just accidentally got into the nun.
So business. So the nun business in North Carolina came through Department of Social Services. So we work a lot with DSS, which helps place a lot of families, women that are part of domestic violence, all that. So they asked me one time, they're like, "Hey, we have a connection with the church. Are you interested in renting to them?" And then I just got more information, and they kind of sold me on it. So I was like, "Let's do it. Oh, let's do it."
Damn, that's what's up. You have any other interesting tenant stories?
Actually, those nuns that we put in Florida,
yeah.
I need to send you the lease. It'll be funny for actually a YouTube video. One of the clauses in the lease was I was requiring them to watch Sisters Act 2 with me. I love the movie. So I was like, I just need 5 or 6 of them. We'll get a movie theater and we'll make content out of it. I thought it was gonna be hilarious to have them all in their costumes or whatever they're called. And
penguin outfits.
Yeah, but they didn't agree. They said absolutely no circumstance will they be watching Sisters Act 2 with you, and if that's a condition of the lease, then we can't sign it. So I pulled it. You put it out a little bit.
Do it so
and then I raised the rent. So I mean, it still worked out.
Listen, man, it's still a good story.
Yeah,
nice. You just wanted to share your experience with.
I thought it would have been hilarious. Yeah, I mean, Whoopi Goldberg back in the day,
Lauryn Hill's in it.
Yeah, it would have been a great comment.
Let me ask you a question. Do people get kicked off of Section 8 sometimes?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's one of the best parts about the program, right? Is because if they don't follow the lease terms and you report them or they get evicted, they can lose their voucher, which is the worst thing ever for them. Because if they're blacklisted, it's their social security number that's blacklisted. So they can't get housing for free anywhere else in the country. So it gives them a lot of motivation to follow your lease terms. Because if they don't,
then they fuck their whole shit up.
They fuck their whole shit up.
So they're kind of incentivized.
And then they have the dependents. Yeah, it fucks everything up.
Oh, then they got to go out and
work
for
yeah. And they don't want to do that.
They don't want to do that. Jesus. Fuck. I can see that. You ever have some shit I've heard about this. I've never been on Section 8, but I've heard stories where there'll be the dads pretending not to live there so they can still get on. They can still get Section 8.
Yeah, we'll run into that. I mean, because my property managers do inspections on the property, and they'll find people that are living there that shouldn't be living there. because if they're not on the lease, then they can't be there. So once they do like home inspections on the properties through the section inspectors, that you can tell that somebody used to live there, but they just like left really quick for the inspection.
We got half of these drawers are empty.
Yeah. So, or they'll just find. I mean, they'll find all sorts of stuff like guns that are definitely not registered.
What's the craziest thing they found on one of your properties?
I mean, I've had a property raided by SWAT. Yeah. So they called me at 2:00 in the morning. I didn't pick up. They left me a voicemail, and they're like, "Hey, this is New Hanover County SWAT and Sheriff's Department. We had to breach your property. We had complaints that there was like a lot of drug activity coming in and out of the property. We saw people there with weapons. So they decided to breach the back door and the front door and 2 windows. So they threw flashbangs. So they broke 2 of the windows. They used a battering ram. They came in at the same time. And then they found like all sorts of contraband. I think they found like 3 AK-47s. They found a couple AR-10s, a bunch of pistols, a bunch of drugs, and like, I don't know, $50,000 in cash or something. Oh, so, shit. And then I'm responsible for the damages up front. They call you up. They're telling me because they wanted us to come and board up the doors at 3 a.m. I was like, no, my guy will be there at 8 a.m. Like he'll figure it out. And then all you got to do is you go and you make a request to the county, and then they'll reimburse you for the damages up to a certain amount.
Okay. So
so I was out like maybe $2,000.
Oh, okay.
But then they paid back most of that.
That's crazy.
But that does happen. It's part of the game, especially if you buy a property and there's already a tenant in there that you didn't screen yourself. That's the risk. So that's why we try buying vacant units, because then you can pick your tenants.
Got it.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. Why they call you instead of the property manager?
Because at the time it was one of my first properties, so I was like, I was still involved with it. Yeah. And then also, I'm still the one on the deed. I'm still the one that they look up in the tax record. So even now, if something bad enough will happen, like we've had one dude decided he was going to eat a shotgun in his living room, and they called me about it. And because we had to get the cleanup people. I think it is hazmat cleanup. It's a special, and then we have to pay for that. So fortunately, insurance covered that. So we really didn't have an out of pocket on that. Yes, it was all over the living room, right? So we had to deal with that. I mean, it happens. People overdose, people die. I had one dude get wasted drunk with a cigarette in his mouth, burn himself alive, didn't even know it.
Jesus.
Yeah, that happens before. It's just, you never know.
How long it take you to get a new tenant up in there, man?
For the burnt up one?
Yeah, after he was done fry himself.
It's pretty bad to say, but typically they considered it. I mean, it's not arson because he didn't intentionally do it, but the house is burned down. So that's the best case scenario, because then you get the insurance check. So what we do is we let them do, it's called cause and origin inspector. They'll send somebody out there to make sure it wasn't an intentional fire, right? Obviously, that's what they confirm that it wasn't. So then we do an insurance claim. We, at the same time, put the property up for sale. So we'll sell it to a home flipper, somebody that wants to tear it down or try to fix it. So we'll pick up $50,000 from that, and then we'll pick up another $110,000, $120,000.
Oh, so that's dope, right? Because you got the insurance money.
You don't have to use it to repair it.
You don't have to use it. You just keep it.
We just keep it.
And then you sold the shit.
We sold the shit for $50,000. Yeah. So that's just the land value. We'll pick up $130,000 in cash, and then we'll go out and buy 10 more properties.
So he
does us a favor.
That's a silver lining, man. Yeah. That's silver lining. Not, just he ended his suffering, right? And you got to come up.
Yeah.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
There's no loser. There's no losers in that story.
There's no loser.
You didn't have to suffer no more. And you out here balling hard.
And according to them, there was no like smoke in his lungs, so like he wasn't alive. Like he had no idea what's going on.
It was peaceful.
It was peaceful. He just didn't wake up.
That's a heartwarming story. Yeah. Your birthday's coming up. What is somebody who's making $1 million a month do for their birthday?
So I'm not doing anything too crazy. I have a few friends coming out from out of town, mostly from college. We're gonna go to the Bahamas. We're gonna take the yacht to Bahamas. We're just gonna jet ski, snorkel, sea bob. I just recently got scuba certified, so we're gonna do some scuba diving. Bringing my chefs. We're just gonna eat out there, and then I'm gonna try wakeboarding off the back of my yacht. Which should be exciting. Like, and then we're gonna gamble because they have casinos over there. So
what do you like to play?
Baccarat and craps.
I only play craps. I never play baccarat. Yeah. Craps is my shit.
That makes sense. The whole dice thing.
Listen. Yeah, I get it.
But I like baccarat as well.
Yeah. Let me. What's the most you ever won?
in a single sitting, probably, I don't know, $75,000 to $90,000. I don't really bet a lot,
Yeah.
right? So if I go to Vegas, I'm probably taking 25 to 30 grand. Because if I go with anything else, it'll get blown, or
Yeah. Especially there's a lot
especially if
of ways
I'm
to
up.
vote.
Yeah.
there's a lot of ways
It's
to
just
vote.
I don't
Yes.
gamble hard. I just enjoy gambling.
It's just fun.
It's just
Like,
fun.
I just go. You know, there was one time.
Because they try to give you like a host and stuff. I was like, no.
Nah.
I don't need a credit line. I don't need a host.
So there was one time I needed rent money. It's back when I was a poor boy, man, and it was in right out of college. I was 21, and I was like, "Fuck, man, I just needed $500," and I was tripping over $500.
Yeah.
I was a real poor boy back then. And then I was like, "Fuck, how am I gonna get this, man? I don't want to do nothing illegal again." So I was like, "All right." So what I found out is that the casinos in Atlantic City, they got buses, shuttle buses that are free.
Yeah.
You can just hop on the bus and say, "Hey, I'm going to casino." All right, cool, man. Free to
Yeah.
Atlantic City. I'm like, "Oh shit!" And when I found out, I'm like, "Bet." I went to Atlantic City. I had like $200. I needed $5, and I won that shit. Came back, man.
There you
You
go.
know,
I'm just glad you didn't, blow it there. Because most people are like, if I got the 500, I could get to 1,000.
Oh no, no. I'm like, discipline has always been one of my strong suits.
That's good. Got what you needed.
Yeah, man. I like to gamble. I like just for fun though. It's like that was the only time I ever did when I needed. But when I go to Vegas, I definitely like to hit the tables. But it's never with no money that I need. It's just like entertainment, whatever happens.
Yeah, just disposable money.
yeah, just whatever
Yeah.
happens. Like as opposed to like spending it at a table.
Yeah, if I wouldn't throw it at a titty bar, I don't gamble it. That's kind of my
That's
rule of
what you
thumb.
do. That's
Yeah.
the only thing you're gonna gamble it or throw it at some hosts.
Yeah, because then you're paying rents, and then it comes right back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, karma.
Exactly. Man, you helping the economy. You know what I'm saying? Was there a question? No. All right, cool, man. Guys, again, remember, register for the fucking free training on Monday. You gonna wait me? Your birthday's on Sunday,
Yes.
so you gonna yacht back?
Oh yeah, we're gonna be back Sunday afternoon.
Oh, I thought you was gonna just hop right off the yacht
No,
straight to
no.
the fucking training.
You could do that, but no.
That's what's up. How many people can fit on your yacht?
So, like I said, it's got 4 bedrooms, 5 baths. They each have king beds, so 8 sleeps comfortably in beds. But we have a huge couch, so I've had 10 people sleep on there overnight on the weekend.
Yeah.
But like if you're just talking like a day party, we've had 30, 35 people on board.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
That's
that's a good sized little boat.
That's good.
Yeah.
How much you pay your chef? Because every time I'm over there, I see him. So he's there every day.
He's there full time. He's there from 8 a.m. So he'll cook breakfast, then he'll cook lunch, and then he'll make like a second lunch or kind of like a pre-workout meal with protein shake, and then he'll do dinner. Typically, we were doing like hourly, and that just didn't work out tracking it, so we just do monthly. And he's right at like $20,000 a month.
$20,000 a month.
Yeah,
that's not bad. That's not bad. And then does he bring the food and shit? He does the grocery.
So he'll bring food, and he also order food, and then he
Okay.
cleans, and then he handles everything. I mean, he's amazing. He's really good.
Nah, he's cool, man.
Yeah.
Every time he's cooked for me a few times.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah,
shit,
he's good.
man.
He just
dude.
won Guys Grocery Games last year.
Fuck is that?
It's a TV. It's a food, I think it's a TV like competition, food competition show. On
Gays grocery game.
Guys.
Guys.
Guy Ritchie, I think, or Guy.
Oh, Guy Fieri.
Fieri, yeah.
Yeah.
So he just did that,
He has that other. I didn't know he had that.
and then he
shit.
was on Chopped as well.
That's another
That's
cooking
another
show.
cooking show. Yeah.
All right. Fieri, he used to have the show that I used to like. It's called Dives, Diners, and Drives, where he would go to like different
Yeah.
cities.
Yeah, similar, I think.
Yeah. I wanted them to give me a show. It was called like King Keto Cheat Day, right? And I just go somewhere on cheat day and eat a bunch of shit, you know? I feel like,
It sounds exciting.
yeah, with some cool motherfuckers talk crazy, you know what I'm saying? It'd be me and like different guests, like me and Chief Keef have a cheat day.
Of all people, Chief Keef.
That's who came to mind, you know what I'm saying? Chicago, man. You know what I'm saying? Me, Chief Keef.
That's wild.
Listen.
I'm
A
listening.
lot of people have, oh, if I had money, I'd do this. If I had money, you seem like you've checked a lot of those things out.
I have, yeah.
Is there anything on your motherfucking rich guy baller bucket list?
I really want to go on like an African safari. Yeah, I just never made it out to Africa yet.
Yeah.
I want to check out South Africa. I want to check out Kenya. I want to check out, all those areas, the wildlife, all that thing would be super cool. I also want to do cage diving in Cape Town with the great white sharks.
Oh,
I just want to get in a cage and swim around with those
swim
fuckers.
with the sharks.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun because then you
Yeah.
can see them like eat the seals and stuff there. because they jump out of the water. It's one of the few places in the world where they jump out of the water.
Sharks?
The sharks
Oh,
and the seals. They all jump out of the water.
yeah, motherfucking bloodbath.
There you go. I think it'd be cool to see.
That's kind of dope. Why don't you just drive the fucking yacht down there?
It's too far.
It's too far.
My yacht can only go 600 nautical miles on a tank, and there's no gas stations on the way to.
I don't know what a nautical mile is.
It's
Man,
a
I'm
little bit
land
further.
dweller.
It's a little bit longer than a regular mile, I think.
Got it, man. You talking all this fucking yacht talk, man.
There you go. We just didn't get you
I
a
ain't-
yacht.
I ain't
That's
there
it.
yet.
That's fine.
I'm working on it, man. That's why I
You
started
get
doing
you
Section 8.
like a little $2 million boat.
yeah.
Yeah, because they'll finance this thing over like 10 years. So you can have like
really?
Yeah, you'd have like on $2 million.
Can I get a nice boat for $2 million?
Yeah, you can.
It's
Yeah, it's not gonna be 100 feet.
And I'm not gonna be on that motherfucker like a speedboat or some shit. Like
No.
But
But if you bought a $2 million boat and you put 20% down, you finance 1.6 million. Your payment would be less than 10 grand.
really,
Yeah.
what would the monthly payments be like for that?
Like I would say between $8,000 and $9,000.
Oh no, I'm not the monthly payment. I mean like the maintenance shit.
Yeah, so I mean, at 2 million, you could probably pick up a nice like 65 or 70 foot boat.
Mhm.
It'd probably be 5 or 6 years old. I'd get a really good warranty on it as well because that covers a
Yeah.
lot of the stuff. And then you don't need to have an engineer and a deckhand with
Yeah.
65 or 70 foot boat. You can just have a captain and you.
Yeah.
And the captain, it's based on the linear footage, so it's typically $1,500 per linear foot. So 1,500 times 70, whatever that is. You're probably paying $80,000 per year.
You pay him and he's on call whenever.
Yeah, he's on call. It's your
Okay.
full time captain for you.
Oh.
Or if you want to do broke boy style, you can do one that's just kind of like part time. So
Mm.
then you have to give them a little bit more notice. Like, hey, we're gonna go out this weekend, and then you just
Yeah.
pay them per day, and they charge like $500 a day.
So
So then it just because you already have the marina right down
I'm
here,
right here.
so you could just walk to the marina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have him come pick me up though, right?
I mean, that's fine too. However you want to
I
do
ain't
it.
gotta go to the boat.
There you go.
Just come pick me up.
But you could easily have a really nice boat for less than 20 grand a month.
well, the marina is walking distance as well.
Yeah.
It's right there.
And at 70 feet, the dockage wouldn't be too expensive either here.
Yo, leave a comment if you think I should get a broke boy boat, man. You know what I'm saying? $2 million broke boy boat, man. Now I already got a girlfriend, so I don't know if I'm gonna get a boat. I remember I was test driving Lambos in New York.
Oh
I was
yeah,
gonna get something. Then I got a girlfriend. I was like, all right, I don't need this shit.
there you go.
Yeah.
Already had the game.
You are already ahead of the game, man. You know what I'm saying? But that does sound like a good midlife crisis goal. Oh, already got the watch, the young.
And it's deductible.
Excuse me.
You can deduct the whole thing
How?
because you would put under a chartering LLC, so you'd be chartering it. So like you could either have masterminds on it, you could charter it to your own
yeah,
LLC.
gotta have masterminds on the boat.
I have a mastermind almost monthly on my boat.
Mm,
So then I charter it to my education company.
right,
So then-
and that's the only thing you use it for.
correct.
The IRS. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Yeah. So you don't use
yeah.
it for
And I
fun.
charter it to business partners and charter it to people that I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We use that's 100% for business. No, I get that. That makes total
Yeah,
sense.
so don't need a boat. Nobody needs a boat.
Don't need a boat.
Wants a boat.
Yeah.
Once you're
Don't-
living
yeah.
at this level, it's all about wants, not needs.
Yeah.
Needs is very welfare.
I can write it all off.
There you
too.
go.
All
So
of it?
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
100% bonus depreciation. Especially 2 million. I think 2 million is the max on section 179. It definitely hits the weight limits and also for business use.
So you can't write off 100% of yours.
I think I don't know exactly how much it is, but then you also have bonus depreciation past the $2 million on the section 179.
So 2 million, you can write off the whole thing.
Most
That
of
what
it,
it is?
yeah.
Most
I'm not an accountant, but I just know that it's we write off quite a big portion of my boat.
Oh man, then I can because I remember you pulled up to Kiki on the river
Correct.
and you was on the river.
We're on the river
On the river.
at Kiki's.
You know what I'm saying? It's not a game.
No,
Bro boys.
she makes an impression at Kiki's.
$2 million. How much smaller would that be than yours?
Probably 30 feet.
I don't know what that means in boat terms. Like
A foot is a foot on land or in the water. Jesus Christ. I don't know how else to explain it to you. It's approximately 12 Dodge Chargers.
oh,
It's 12 Hellcats.
Oh, okay.
Is that better?
12
There you
Hellcats.
go.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I get that.
There you go. Is that more clear?
No, it makes perfect sense now.
Okay. There you go.
You just led with that.
There you go.
Guys, you trying to buy if you're trying to buy broke boy $2 million boats with me, right? that's what we on now, right? And you want to learn more of this Section 8 shit. You definitely got to register for the training. You know, it's this Monday at 8 p.m. It's gonna be me and Tom. We're gonna go over to it. It's gonna be dope, man. Yo, that's kind of, I don't know, man. You got me thinking boat.
I think it's a great asset. It's a
Mhm.
gift that just keeps on giving. You're gonna have a lot of people that will tell you the best day is when you bought the boat and the
Yeah,
you know,
tell me about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the people that I've talked to that have said this never had the time or the money to really enjoy it, right? So I enjoy boating. Like I don't do it as a flex. It just happens to be a really nice flex. But I go on my boat 2 or 3 times per week, right?
Yeah.
So if you go at least, I would say once per week, it's still worth it. Because even if you were to charter that boat for the day, it's gonna be 10 grand.
Mm.
If you do that every weekend, it's 40 grand a month. You're gonna be
Yeah.
half that price, and you get the tax benefits, and you also have, you know, at your call to be able to do whatever you want. So
Yeah.
to me, it's worth it. But you know, like I said, if it's uncomfortable for you to pay for it, or if like the monthly expenses and the maintenance is too much, then obviously you want to reconsider until you're in a more comfortable position.
So, okay, let me ask you another real estate question.
There you go.
Bob, you're just so fascinating, man. Bob, so the average property is netting $500 a month.
Net, correct. That's after management, taxes, insurance. Yeah, 400 to 500. It depends how much you put down. Depends on how much you're buying it for.
So it's just a math game. Like however much money you guys
can
want to
acquire.
make.
That's why it's really important to get a lot of debt. The more debt that you get, the more money that you make.
Come on, man.
That's it.
The game.
That's the game.
You want the debt.
You want the debt.
What about people like Ramsey telling you no debt and all that shit?
I think that for a lot of people in the general public that are really irresponsible with their personal finances, that makes sense, right? So they can't handle that. They see debt and they're like, oh, I can, tour with this car. So let me go get a $70,000 car when I make $50,000 a year. And they just never really make anything out of it. So they end up in debt. And you hear Dave Ramsey and they all the time have like $200,000 in student debt, and he majored in like underwater basket weaving or something totally useless.
Some goofy shit.
Yeah, so it makes sense in that case, and I think his advice is sound for a lot of people. But
not if you're trying to ball.
Not if he's trying to get rich, it's not gonna.
Not if you're trying to ball. Like if you a regular guy want to do regular.
Yeah,
shit,
because they're out here putting $1,000 into an index fund and hoping and praying that you're gonna, at 65. I assure you, from firsthand knowledge, it's way more fun to be rich at 32, 35 than it is at 65.
Yeah. No, 100%. 100%.
So you get that a lot. Like, oh, if I could put that $10,000, I could, make 1.2 million in 30 years. Congratulations.
Yeah, you can.
You can make that in the next 5 years if you invest that correctly with real estate.
Yeah, so that's why work hard, get some income going in, invest that income into an asset, and it's just math.
There you go.
What I'm saying? And then it's like that kind of that you're talking about. Secure, the government is paying for it. The government is actually paying.
And that's the only reason that I would feel that comfortable doing it. Because let's say that I was making, $1 million per month with, I don't know, selling some product online, right? Yeah. And I was selling, I don't know, shoes or selling apparel, and I was super successful e-commerce. There is no way that I would ever obligate myself to $80,000 a month in yacht debt, selling a physical product like that. You don't know if it's going to turn, if the trend's going to drop. You don't know if, you're going to get banned from your advertiser account. You don't know. There's a million different things. But with real estate,
your supplier fucks up. Yeah, with real estate, you don't have this.
There's very few moving pieces. Especially
with what you're doing, because the government pays it. That's what I'm saying. It's like, unless you think the government's going to stop working.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the other concern that people bring up. Like, what if they stop Section 8? What sitting U.S. president wants to make 7 million Americans unemployed? Like, no one wants to do that, right? And it's been around for 60 years. It's well funded. If anything, Biden recently added, I think, another $150 million and a bunch more vouchers last year. If y'all look it up, if you look up Section 8, 10% rent increase, it did a 10% over the board across the entire United States for inflation. So, I mean, we probably picked up another $9,000 per month recently on that.
So inflation
in certain counties. Inflation
is actually to your benefit.
Yeah, because the cost of living goes up, everything goes up, so they just keep paying more. $9,000 to $11,000 overall in certain counties on a lot of those rents.
See, motherfuckers be out here trying to fight the government, man. You can work with.
You're not gonna beat them, so you might as well join them.
You might as well join them, man. Get on his side.
That's it, and that's all.
Yeah, because if the government doesn't pay you, then if the government can't pay you, then we're in bigger fucking issues.
Oh yeah, then you're shafted either way.
Yeah,
and then you just rent.
Government.
Then you rent to the church, because the church ain't never running out of money.
That shit ain't failing, man. It don't matter what. They're hard to bring down, man.
Yeah, you're not bringing down church.
If you could bring them down, they would have been brought down.
Yeah,
they've done some.
They've been around way longer.
Yeah,
that's that BC money.
Nah, that's what I'm saying before. Roman Catholic Church.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you Catholic?
No, I'm not really religious at all.
Yeah, Yeah, me neither, man. I fucks with Jesus. He seemed like a cool.
I'm
dude.
religious when the archdiocese calls me asking for more rent,
Yeah,
or more rental properties. And then I get real religious.
Mm-hmm.
That's what and also with you.
I think God wants you to ball, man. That's what I
Yeah.
heard. You know what I'm saying? Ecclesiastes and titties, 10:19 in the Bible. He said, "Drinks are made for laughter, food is made for merry, but money solves all things." That's in the Bible.
Damn.
Ecclesiastes and titties, 10:19. If you guys want to get that money, man, click that link in that bio. Join our free training on Monday, man.
Well, I'll hit on religious housing as well on Monday night because I
You wanna talk about
always
it?
get a bunch of DMs afterwards about
Yeah,
asking about the church. I might actually add a module to the training on how to do that.
how to get the nunnery?
How to get the
popping.
nunnery money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's something like good tenants.
I mean, it's
Except
a
for
good
that one
backup, too.
whore, except for that one slut who was out here getting dick down in the nunnery.
She got repelled though.
Yeah, she did. Listen. Now we spray the properties down. Listen, make sure y'all register for that time. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, no problem.
I
Man.
appreciate it, guys. Make sure y'all register, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Yes, indeed.
You gonna be here next Tuesday? I'm trying this motherfucker. Next Tuesday, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. We back on time now. I'll holla at y'all. Peace.